All right. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is Two Dudes and Some Bullshit.
A whole lot of bullshit.
Episode 1, horror. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking horror today. And this is going to be good. This is going to be exciting.
First episode. I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me here. This is going to be great.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Feels good to, I'm kind of getting that rhythm back. I did a couple videos here last week, so I'm still kind of trying to find that groove now that I'm starting to do content again. So this is cool. I'm glad you invited me over here to your channel to hang out with you and your subscribers.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is going to be a lot of fun. And of course, this is the first episode, so we're still trying to get the hang of everything here and make sure that we're broadcasting all right. But yeah, no, I'm having a good time.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 100 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. My name is Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia, and tonight we are watching the 2009 cinematic masterpiece, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Tony Michael, how the hell are you? I actually hit the wrong intro button. This is a cool song. I usually use it for McRae Live.
I was going to say, man, I really like this new song, to be honest with you.
It's good. It's good stuff.
I like it a lot.
Maybe I'm going to...
It kind of has a Carpenter-esque feel to it.
It does. Maybe we're going to move it over. I sometimes use it for McRae Live. It might now be the Two Dudes intro.
I kind of vote that you do.
Hey, one more time. One more time, fuckers. Where's my little, there we go. What's going on, everybody? No, we are watching, yes, we're watching the theatrical cut tonight, ladies and gentlemen, of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, the theatrical cut. Who the hell wants to watch an extended cut of that piece of shit? Not me. I don't want to watch it. I want to watch as less of that movie as I possibly can. Episode 100.
There hasn't been this much controversy in a movie since the great controversy of '94 with Finkel and Einhorn.
Finkel and Einhorn, or Einhorn and Finkel, depending on...
Exactly.
It depends on how you want to, whatever you want to do, right? Whatever it is, whatever it is. 100 episodes. Our very first episode, in case you're joining us late, we started the show tonight showing about a minute of our very I wanted to show more, but I mean,
That was crazy. Dude, my office was so bare.
Wasn't it?
And I had the beard.
You had the beard and everything, and I'm telling you, so that was from November the 4th, 2018, so almost 2.5 years ago.
Well, yeah, we're going on our third year. Yeah. We'll have to do a 3-year anniversary.
We will. And crazy, that was an episode where we were just talking about horror movies and just having a good time, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to a little, and that was, I don't know if anybody caught this, but that was Google Hangout. So that's when Google Hangout was available. A thing. And of course, they got rid of it about, over a year or so ago now. And that was actually Google Hangout. That was our first episode, November 4th, 2018. Hey, if you see my camera doing the glitchy thing again, I know it does it for some reason whenever I connect to Zoom to get Tony in here. I don't know why. It's throwing a party. Tony, how the hell are you?
Dude, I'm fantastic. Dealing with a little thunderstorm right now, but hey, we're good.
We're prepping for
Mother Nature's drunk in Atlanta today. It's 40 degrees and cold, and yeah, she's like, well, I'm gonna fucking throw some lightning and thunder your way. Okay.
Well, cool. we are prepping for a snowstorm tonight. So
oh, that's right. My dad was telling me about that. You guys are about to get lit the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at about. Well, it says about 15 centimeters or so, which is a fair bit, but nothing like outrageous or anything like that.
Or maybe it's near the northeast of the states that are going to get pounded with this nor'easter.
Might be. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, and of course we have a new intro. Of course tonight I thought I'd launch a new intro with the skull and the fog and the little eyeball. That needs to be our
intro. I really do like that.
Yeah, it's totally. That's it. That's our new. Well, that's our new. Yeah, because before I had like the 30 seconds in the middle, and we had our thing on either side, which is still our logo essentially for the thumbnails, but I decided to switch it up for the 100th episode and put a little something mean in there, a little something horror in there. And you can't go wrong with a glowing skull. You can't go wrong with a glowing skull.
I'm a huge. I have skull. Like I have three skulls up there. I've got a skull you guys can't see off of here, dude. I got skulls around my house. Like I am like a hardcore. Like in my room where I sleep, I have skulls that look at me. Like you can imagine what date night is like. I'm not sleeping in here.
And what you don't know is they are actually the skulls of former dates. But I'm bummed.
Yeah, and I'm getting a new skull tattoo.
Nice. So, well, there you go. You see,
well, I think I showed that to you the other day, or did I show that to Devin? I can't remember who I texted that to.
No, it must have been your buddy, not me.
Yeah, it might have been my buddy.
But I actually have I have skulls around my place too. Not in here. Out there, I have a couple of skulls, but I have these funky skulls that I picked up when I was at Santa Monica Pier in LA. These are really, really cool. These are really cool.
Those are cool.
Yeah, really, really, really cool. I love these. I love them a lot. So, and of course, supporting a local vendor. So I decided to do that. They're handcrafted, handmade. And so I was supporting the local LA economy there. And what happened there? It's got a little something on it. I don't know. Maybe it's whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I like skulls too. So I thought, you know what? It was kind of, and of course we are primarily a horror movie watch party. And I thought, the skull works for us. So that's our new intro. That's our new intro. The 30-second countdown. Let people know that we're coming on.
I freaking love it, dude. I think it's dope as fuck, and I think it's a bit of it's a little poetic, little ironic that we're doing Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 for the 100th episode.
We are doing
the one movie that I walked out on. I've never walked out on a movie. Me and Devin, my buddy.
Yep.
This is the only time, and we've I don't know, it was like 30 or 45 minutes into the film. I don't even think it was that long. We were just kind of looking at each other like, no, like this, we are not feeling this at all.
This is it's funny. I got a message on my Many Things Dave McRae Facebook page, which is the Facebook page, by the way, that you should be following me at if you're not. And it was a message, and it was just funny. I don't know if he's new to my channel or what is, but he reached out to me and he said, Dave, I saw that you're doing Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 for your 100th episode. He's like, that's amazing, man. I'm so glad that you're doing it. It's such a great movie, and I'm so glad that you like it too. And, that's why you're doing it. And and I had to let him down. I said, well, actually,
not to burst your balloon,
that's actually not why we're doing it. So folks, if you are somebody who, now listen, if you're somebody who adores this movie, if you're somebody who loves this movie, if you're somebody who thinks this movie is underrated, if you're somebody who thinks that this movie gets hate that it doesn't deserve, if you think this movie is underappreciated, undervalued, that's okay. We think it's a big pile of steaming dog shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are looking for us to talk positively about a movie you love,
and I made positive notes. I said, look, it's going to be easy for us to shitbag on this film tonight.
100%.
But there are good moments. There are good things that he did that I felt like he was so close. And it's funny because I was talking about this with Devin over the weekend because he, was congratulating us because he saw my Instagram story because I started pushing the one. I wanted you guys to know ahead of time to be prepared that we were going to do Rob Zombie because sometimes we might not be able to get to letting you guys know to like the day of. But for this, I was like, you know what? I want to give you guys enough of a heads up. Like, hey,
fair enough.
Give you guys a couple days heads up. And when Devin saw that, he was like, I can't believe you're going to do that. But then like we were like kind of just shooting the shit like, if he had just done this, and I'm going to get into the if he had just done this as we're watching. I'm not going to start getting into that right now. Mm-hmm. It could have been a pretty solid sequel to his first film, which is an okay Halloween movie. It sits in the middle when I rank the franchise. It's, it nestles itself right there in the middle. This one, it between Resurrection and this go back and forth at the bottom of the list. It depends on the day of the week, Well, if you ask me tomorrow, I'll say Resurrection's the worst. If you ask me today, I'm going to say this one's the worst.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. And look, I just want people to know that look, every movie, even the bad movie, yes, there are certain things in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 that if you assess it in a vacuum, which simply means you take it on its own merits, like that shot, that scene, that moment. Yes, you can always find some things that are positive. But assessing it as a whole, it was such a departure from, and listen, some people may really like that. That's fine. But for me, it was just too, I just don't like Rob Zombie as a filmmaker, generally speaking. I just don't think he brings a lot of
he stays in his wheelhouse too much.
Yeah,
and I think if he broke out of that, I think he could be a decent director storyteller.
He could be. So feel free to send in the super chats throughout the show today. We'll be answering them as we watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and any questions, of course, you may have as well. This is the 100th episode of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. So
now I'm watching mine on Amazon Prime tonight because iTunes doesn't have it to offer to us, and neither does our YouTube here in the States. So it's the regular version as far as I can tell. It didn't say anything special.
Yep.
So
I'm watching it off of YouTube. I am paused right now. I'm paused. Where am I here? Hang on. Let me
Mine says an hour and 45 minutes, 0.28.
Mine says an hour and 45 minutes, 4.6. So I think it's pretty much the same. Where are you paused right now?
Dimension hasn't come in just yet.
Okay.
It's about to.
I'm
2 seconds in.
Oh, okay. 1 second. So let me just hang on. I've got to get this Entertainment One off my screen then. Dun, 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 dun. Let me get this off here. Go through this. Da, da, da. So Dimension. All right. So I'm paused. Dimension is just about to come onto the screen.
Yep.
All right. All right, folks, here we go. The moment you've all been waiting for in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, I will say this as we're kicking off the movie here.
Yes.
I've said this many times.
Yes.
I have said this. I've been on record for saying this.
You have.
Well, first of all, if you need to explain to your audience a definition of what white horse means, and then it comes in later on in the movie, right there is a bad example of filmmaking. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure, like everybody else, if they had not explained that at the beginning of the film, people would have been like, "What the fuck is up with this white horse shit?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. And I know that's why he was trying to do that.
Yes, I think quotes.
Do you know why, by the way, not to cut you off, why they recast and they didn't bring Dag back and they brought in the Hanson brother lookalike? I mean, literally, the kid looks like the Hanson brother.
I don't know. No, I don't. But I would assume that it's because at that age, kids can age quite a bit in 2 years. And I'm assuming that maybe he looked too old. He looked too old. So they had to get somebody who looked that age again. Yep. And here they are.
And now I was okay with him doing a flashback sequence and bringing Sherry Moon. I mean, and that's how I felt Sherry Moon should have been executed in the film. Yeah. When you're doing the whole fucking trippy, this is what Michael's visions are and what he sees shit, I'm like, no. And I understand she's hot. I get it. If I had a hot wife like Sherry Moon, yeah, I'm going to fucking put her in my movies too. But I just felt like, this is fine. It's appropriate. It's a flashback sequence. I get it. It's cool. But the other shit, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Scary movie. Halloween 2. There it is.
Now
I like the title sequence.
Damn, that was
the
loud.
font of the title. I like that. That's some good shit
I
right
gotta
there.
turn this down.
That's some good shit right there.
This is Georgia. This is downtown Covington, Georgia, where Scout is walking through. Actually, most of Halloween 2 was filmed here in the Covington area of Georgia. And actually, this is not too far from where they filmed Friday the 13th, Part 6. And this street right here to the left of Scout, okay? Not
it's
now,
your
but
street where you live.
No, it's where the police station was for Jason Lives. Friday the 13th,
very
Part
cool.
6.
Very cool. I didn't know
right
that.
to the left of her.
I did not know that.
I love this opening sequence. I've been on the record that this
well
between
shot.
this and in the hospital scene, it's one of my favorite scenes filmed throughout the entire Halloween franchise. It is well done. Rob Zombie did a great job executing the suspense. Durf, who plays Brackett, and Scout, who's playing Lori. Fucking phenomenal. I mean, no complaints at all. I love every bit of this. In fact, when I was talking with Devin over the weekend, I was like, dude, imagine if they had just taken the approach of the whole movie takes place in the hospital, but not repeating what 1981 Halloween 2 did, but you bring Loomis into the hospital, you bring Annie to the hospital, and now it's a fight for survival for all three characters to make it through the night.
Yes, or you could just roll the credits after the hospital scene.
I mean, you could. In theory, you really could.
That is what I would have done. I get out while things are not bad. Roll the credits. The hospital scene is done. Roll it. Yeah, but Dave, the movie's not done. Oh, it's done. Oh, it's done. It's done, ladies and gentlemen. No, look. Okay. Look, the opening of Halloween 2, the hospital scene, the intensity, the violence, yes, it's well shot. The intensity is up there. It's well cut together. And dare I say it, that yes, this is no doubt stemming from the first movie. This is a good pickup. And
really
this
is. It set the tone.
intense.
Like, I was like, damn, this is good. And then it just fucking sinks like the Titanic.
It just spirals out of control. But there are people that love it. There are people that love this movie and think it's great, and are actually upset they never got Rob Zombie's Halloween 3. They wanted a part 3. They wanted Zombie to do a 3. What would Zombie have done? What do you think he would have done? I don't know.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Now, just imagine if, like, Michael, it's still the same night. Michael escapes the fucking the meat wagon. We call them meat wagons. And he's heading back to Haddonfield Memorial. But instead, like I said, instead of repeating what they did in 81 Halloween, where Laurie and Loomis don't connect until the end of the film, it's Laurie, Loomis, maybe Annie, or you kill Annie off early on. I don't know, however you do it. But it's them trying to survive still the night in the hospital, escaping Michael.
You see, I actually think that's a really good idea, because what you could do is you keep it in the hospital, but you change it by actually having it a cat and mouse game, like you said. Between Michael, Annie, and Laurie. And
Loomis, yeah.
And Loomis, yep, yeah. But they're all at the hospital because they're taken to the hospital because they're all injured. So I think that's actually I actually like that idea.
And it's okay. It's sort of duplicating what they did in part 2 originally, but it's not, because we didn't see Loomis injured in part 2.
Well,
and
no,
we
and
didn't
he wasn't
see Annie
taken to
survive.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
There's enough differences there in terms of no. It would be you could have done it. You absolutely could have done it. And but yeah, this spirals down pretty damn fast.
I will say, who do I like personally? I like Brad as Brackett versus Chuck.
Versus Chuck?
Isn't that his name? Charles Cyphers?
Oh, Charles Cyphers. Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's some irony right there, Chuck.
But also, too, I think, to be fair, Brad Dourif actually has more to do as Sheriff Brackett.
He has a deeper role.
He has a much deeper
Cyphers
role. Cyphers, and let's not forget, like I've often said, Halloween 2 from 81 doesn't exist in this new timeline that they're doing. So the last time we actually saw Brackett before Halloween Kills will have been him and not you let him out. No, that's Halloween 2. That doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. So the last time we actually saw Brackett was when he was in his squad car, kind of going, "Where are you? I've been looking. I checked the Myers house, and you're not there." And Loomis is like, he's here, he's 3 blocks down, go around, I'll check the front, you check the outside. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, don't we see him at the beginning of Halloween 2?
No, we do, but that doesn't exist anymore. Right? Halloween 281 doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So the last time we actually saw Brackett was actually him going, "Where were you? I checked the Myers house and you weren't there." So anyway, it's, I'm looking forward to that, to see what some people say. Hey, some super chats came in. Let's see what you guys are saying here on this 100th episode. Why is this? Oh, that's weird. I thought I had, did I miss that? Did I miss a super chat? No, I did. Okay, yeah, there were 3 that came in. It's only showing 2 on the other side, on the other page. Bud Gumberson, 1234. Thanks, buddy. Says, congrats on 100, guys. Thank you so much, Bud. I don't think there is a more fitting movie to watch. Laugh my ass off. Here's to 400 more. Cheers to you, my man. Cheers to you. We could not agree more. And then Jason Nike, my man, says, congrats, Dave and Tony. Good Real Hunting and I are starting a show called Real Men and Real Movies on March 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's very inspired by your show. Very cool, man. We wish you the best of luck. I thought you were going to say your first movie was going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Our first movie will be 1987 Lethal Weapon. Very cool, Jason. Wish you the best of luck, my man. Wish you the best of luck. Yep. And then Oliver Mercer sends in a £5 super chat. Oliver says, I only love Brad Dourif's performance, especially for when Danielle's Annie dies. When Brad's Brackett comes in, by God, it cuts me up with emotion. Well, there you go. I remember that scene. I do. And then Sean Sheridan sends in a 10 euros, says, only reason not to like this film is it goes in different directions, not the same as the others. That's why the Friday series is B-movie series. To compare it to Part 8 is nonsense. Easily number 3 in the list. You're talking about Halloween 2 is number 3. Well, hey, dude, if this movie works for you, if this version of Michael works for you, that's great. I thought it was a little too eccentric, a little too avant-garde, a little too Rob Zombie, and it's not really my cup of tea. And there were a lot of creative choices he made that I thought were silly as it relates to the character. And
well, the one creative choice. The one creative choice I liked and I thought should have been the tone of the movie, because, when you look at okay, so let's just forget the idea that I threw out about just keeping it in the hospital. If you want to just go with what Rob presented, okay, the tweaks that I would have done is this, okay, the tone of the movie is aftermath. It's what these people are dealing with after the events of this Halloween, what Scout's going through, and Lori is going through, played by Scout, the post-traumatic stress. And I like the fact that because in H2O with Jamie Lee Curtis, that's 20 years removed from the incident. With Scout in this film, we're only talking 1 year. And what did Lori go through?
Oh,
within that first year.
Hang on, whoa, sorry.
The decapitation here. Yeah, Michael cutting him off with a piece of glass. It's an intense scene.
It's and you know what, and
he picks up the head like, huh?
He does, but it's just, and even the conversation that they were having before this happened, it's so
this is when it got weird,
man. It's so hickish.
Sherry Moon, the fucking horse, like, no. I remember me and Devin looked at each other like, what in the fuck? Like, what is this shit? So apparently Scout's aim is bad because it really wasn't a headshot. I mean, Lori, I keep calling her Scout, but anyways, so the tone of the movie is post-traumatic. It's the aftermath and dealing with it, and you see that, and you see what Lori's going through in that first initial year and how hard it is on her. You see what it's done to Annie. Annie's become a reclusive. She's living in her father's house out in the middle of nowhere. She seems to be very just sheltered, and this is her safe haven now. That should have been the same thing with Loomis. Loomis should not have been portrayed as a fucking prima donna in this film. Loomis should have been portrayed as someone like he feels that he failed. He failed with Michael, and he takes responsibility and the blame. This is a good song, by the way. Nice White Set.
Do you know what Michael should have done?
Like having ADD right now. He's like, this is going on, and then talking about
Michael should have mounted the horse and rode away. And rode
Hi-oh, Silver!
Yes, and galloping, going,
playing the Lone Ranger.
Seriously, that's what he should have done. And I'm telling you, dude, I would have fucking loved it. I would have loved that. Woohoo! And fucking just rode off down the fucking street. Man, that would have been great.
Octavia's death scene is intense as well too.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%. Until you realize that it's all a dream.
That's like I said, that's we're like, fuck, man, like this was just a dream. But anyways, my point on Loomis, making him, that's all right, making him a part of the same what's going on, the aftermath, and I just don't feel that Loomis would be this pompous prima donna. It's so opposite to who Dr. Loomis is. I feel the opposite. I feel that he would feel that he failed, right? And maybe he sticks, close to Lori. He's in town,
yeah, maybe,
and he's, he feels like he owes it to her to watch over her still or whatnot.
That's right.
And I also feel that Lori should have found out sooner, like why this dude was after her,
right?
Because you could have tapped into that even more so with what she was going through. So she's dealing with the aftermath of this event that happened to her and her friends. Okay, she's there talking to Annie right now, and then she's finding out, oh, by the way, you're adopted. This was your brother who tried to kill you.
Yep.
So now she's dealing with that. And oh, by the way, your brother fucking killed your sister 17 fucking years ago.
That's right.
Oh, and your mother shot and killed herself around that time frame as well too. And your adopted parents are dead.
Right.
So you add all of that into what Lori's going through, definitely would have added so many more layers, because I've said this many times. I really do enjoy Scout's performance in both films as Lori. I think she did a phenomenal job. She didn't try to, she wasn't trying to copy, Jamie Lee Curtis. She made the character herself. The only thing I can say, unfortunately, for Scout, and there's no fault of her own, as good as her performance is in this movie, it's just surrounded by a fucking shitty movie and shitty storytelling.
Do you know who?
What do you think about my idea with Loomis and making him more in line with what I said versus to the pompous fucking?
Well, yeah, I like it. I think it's a good idea. I like your idea. I like your idea about the entire movie taking place in the hospital and making.
And like
imagine if she didn't wake up and it wasn't a dream. And it was actually like you just carry on from that point. I think it's a good idea. I think your idea that you're talking about here is a good idea. Anything, well, not anything. Obviously, you can make it even worse. But most things would be better than what Rob Zombie did here. Now, everything up to this point is dare I say it?
I love this. I love it, dude.
Yeah, no, I think
this is great, and I think the stock theme is about to start.
Yep. But do you know who would beat Michael in a fight? This guy right here. He-Man.
Yeah, everybody keeps asking me, why don't you do Rob Zombie's Michael in a photo shoot? Do you know how fucking hard it is to find someone who's 6'10"?
He-Man. This guy right here. You see him? He-Man would kick the shit.
Oh, Dolph Lundgren? Are you talking about Dolph Lundgren?
No. Look, I'm holding up.
I'm holding up the I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, Michael's look in Zombie's film, I like, but the problem is I don't know anyone who's 6'10". You know what I mean? Like, that's like,
yeah, he's a big guy.
I'm not going to have a small guy dress up and play him for me because I'm going to get called out on that.
Yeah, no, he's a.
Oh, and I like the aggressiveness. Like, I'm okay with that.
And the idea of the thunder and the rain and everything. It's great stuff. It's he's
just teeing off on Octavia Spencer
he makes it a lot.
Now. Jesus Christ.
No. This is. If Rob Zombie had cared, it's a very specific style. It's a very specific kind of horror movie. Obviously, it's a gritty, blood guts, intense, and dare I say it, quite gory and graphic and great. But then after this, the story becomes strange and meta.
Yeah, like we're following Michael as with a year. Like, why does he have to wait a whole year to go back and try to kill him? That makes no sense. Like,
and
you know what I mean? Like, he's just hanging out in the fucking woods and chilling. You know what I mean? In the country of Haddonfield, and fucking okay. Now I'm gonna go back and kill. Like. That's why my idea of making it the same night still, but like we were talking about, a cat and mouse game of Loomis, Laurie, and Annie fighting to continue to survive and escape Michael throughout Haddonfield Memorial. That would have been a really cool idea to and a cool way to approach the film.
Yeah. No, I
love this, man. Like, it's I feel like I'm watching a Halloween film. You know, his walk here is really good. Laurie or Scout's attempt to, or Laurie, whatever, trying to get out of the hospital. Like, I fucking love it. It's good suspense.
It's a good, I agree. You know, you have to give credit where credit is due. And this opening to this movie, and I've always said this as you have, is a very good opening. It's scary, it's dark, it's intense, it's suspenseful. It's like
he invested everything, his whole energy into this, and he's like, fuck the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
That's it. He's like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just whatever.
Yeah. I would have had the rest. I would have had see this scene here where she's running outside. I would have delayed that. I would have. This is
for sure. This would have been my ending.
This is something that you could have had and kept, absolutely, but keep it to later and have, like you said, Loomis come to the hospital, Annie come to the hospital, you know, and sort of build it up that way.
Or Brackett's still on the hunt.
For sure. And then the three of them are together, and there's almost a poeticness to that too, because it's like, you know, Loomis, Annie, and Laurie are together, you know, trying to hide from Michael, and maybe I wouldn't be against killing Loomis and killing Annie, leaving just these two. And this is sort of towards the third act of the movie. What you're seeing here is like the beginning of the third act. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like,
maybe Brackett and Laurie are the last two survivors, you know?
Right, exactly. And Loomis and Annie are gone. So they're there for most of the movie, but they're killed. And they're killed in like real sort of like, oh my God, didn't see that coming. Because you would expect that Loomis would survive. You would expect that maybe not Annie, because she already did die in the original, but certainly Loomis, you would, you know, subconsciously as a fan watching a movie like that, seeing him survive the first movie, seeing him, you know, surviving most of this movie, trying to get the girls to safety. Come on, girls, come here, come with me. I know what to do. Come with me, you know, and, you know, stay close. Oh, Dr. Loomis, what are we going to do? Oh my God. You know, and that sort of is carrying on through most of the movie. You think, oh, well, he's eventually going to get them to safety, and he dies. And now that male sort of figure, that person that you have confidence in, that's going to protect you because he knows Michael, he knows everything about Michael, he can speak to Michael, and Michael stops in his tracks and all. He's gone. He's dead. So now you feel really alone and really isolated. And then Annie goes, like out in a blaze of glory. And it's like, oh my God.
I'd have Annie like die towards the end, like make the audience feel. And I will say this: his execution of Annie's death as an off-screen kill in this film, I thought it was well done. I don't know if he intentionally did that because it was Danielle Harris, and you know, like people still look at her as more the Jamie Lloyd character than even though she is playing Annie in the reboot here of it. I would love to know what his reason was for it, but it was tastefully done. I will say that. If in the version you're talking about, like if this was the way you approached the sequel, I would have definitely, I would have had Annie going down in a blaze of glory, something dramatic towards the end, make the audience feel that she's going to be safe, she's going to make it, and then totally catch them off guard.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. And then at the end of the movie, you make the whole thing a dream sequence. And
Freddy pops up.
That's right. Loomis is over.
The glove comes out.
Loomis is over her bed going, Laurie, wake up, dear. The credits are about to roll. becomes very self-aware. But you know, it is what it is. Sean Sheridan, 10 euros. Thanks, buddy. Says, I do get the hate Loomis is a tool. The White Horse is weird. It does not feel like a Halloween film, but the emotion of Laurie and Dorff hit me on a level. Great kills, good pace, don't need F-bomb. Well, that's great, dude. If it worked for you, then that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters.
Piggybacks off of what I just said. You know, Scout's performance as Laurie, what you just said in your super chat, I agree, 100% agree. Well, it's great. It just, everything surrounding it is not.
Well, and this is what people have to understand. You know, fans have to understand, and people have to understand that you know, in bad movies, unless they are, not that I don't consider this a colossal failure, I do, but as I said at the top of the show,
tell me how you really feel.
There you go. As I said at the top of the show, you can find good things in bad movies. You can find, you know, potential. You can find, that's a good moment. That's a good scene. Why didn't they run with that? Oh, wait a minute. If you've just done this, you can find that. And this is one of those movies. I can find it in Halloween 5. I can find it in Resurrection. You know what I mean? It's not, they're still bad movies, but you can find, oh, that's a good shot. That's a good scene. I like that moment. If only they had, you know, why did you run this way instead of that way? You know, that way. Why'd you run that way instead of this way? Why'd you run this way instead of that way? Right. And this, most people who dislike this movie, most people that do not agree with the direction that Zombie suddenly took and went complete 180 after the dream sequence here, most people, I think, do agree that this opening, this dream sequence, too bad it's a dream sequence, but this dream sequence is very well done. It's really well shot. The intensity is there. The suspense is there. The mood is there. The atmosphere is there, right? It's a different, it's very intense and violent, but it works because it's stemming from his first Halloween film he did.
And if this was for 90 minutes, I'd love it.
Well, that's exactly what Tony and I are saying. That imagine if what you're seeing here on the screen, which is Laurie being attacked by the shape trying to smash through.
And he comes out of nowhere with a car, hits Michael.
Well, but
something like that.
But imagine if this was the third act. You know, I mean, it
exactly,
because you're invested. You're invested up to this point, and I do think that despite the fact that it was an unusual story, and the White Horse, again, folks, when you say the White Horse, like, yes, the White Horse is strange and it's weird, but to Rob Zombie's credit, it's not nonsensical. It's not for no reason. There is a reason for it. There is a philosophical reason for it. There is a symbolic reason for it. It does make sense. It's not that the White Horse doesn't make sense. It's not like all of a sudden in a Halloween movie, there's a giant cheeseburger running down the street and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? That doesn't make any sense, right?
That would have been funny.
Yeah, it would be fucking hilarious. But it's not like a Family Guy episode where it's random and it doesn't make any sense. It does make sense. It's just a strange course of action to take with the narrative of Halloween. And it's only strange because you've built a character up over the course of 30-something years at this point to be a certain way. Now, Rob Zombie, of course, likes to be avant-garde and take it and do this. You can do that, but when you do that, you can expect most of your audience to go, hang on a second here. Wait a minute. So now you're telling me that this is what you're doing. So this is the character of Michael now. And there was nothing in Rob Zombie's Halloween that would lead us to believe that Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 would go this direction, right? Yeah. Really what Zombie should have done, and he said a lot of bullshit over the years. Rob Zombie, when you listen to him in interviews when he was making the original his original Halloween, he would say things like, well, John Carpenter's this and he's that, and we want to pay homage. He was saying all the right political cinematic rhetoric. He was saying all the right things. But over the years, he said things, and I'm paraphrasing, but he has said a lot of things like, fuck this, fuck that. I should have done this, or I should have done that. My hands were tied. I should have done. Yeah. And you know what? I kind of agree with him. Really, at the end of the day, I'm very curious to see what Rob Zombie's Halloween would have been, not reliant on the shadow of the original Halloween, not paying homage, not shooting in the same locations,
I agree.
not showing.
I agree.
Now, that doesn't mean that it would have been good. It doesn't mean that at all. It may have been so avant-garde and so crazy and so weird that it would have rubbed us the wrong way right out of the gate. And we would have been like, what the fuck is this? Right? But I think the reason why some people, most people actually, don't mind Rob Zombie's Halloween is because the DNA of the original is still there. You can see it. You can feel it a little bit, right? It's still kind of there. Rob Zombie was trying to kill a couple of birds with one stone. He was walking a line, making it his own, but tipping his hat, showing you familiar locations, having familiar music. You know, he was trying to, and then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is completely his. It was like Malek Akkad was, okay, you do what the fuck you want to do. And he does this. And I think it's like, wait a minute. There was nothing about your first movie that would lead us to believe that we were in for Hobo Michael. Like, this is strange what you've done here. So yes, I agree with fans in the sense of that, you know, if you judge it on its own merits, but unfortunately we can't because it's a sequel, and it's a sequel that is coming from another movie prior to it, and it's strange. It's like, just judge The Last Jedi on its own merits. I can't. It's the second chapter. There's too much connective tissue there. You know, I have to judge it as a whole. And it's strange because for all the reasons that I've said. Rant done.
See,
off my soapbox.
You know, this scene here between Scout and Margot Kidder, like, I felt would have been more effective if it was Scout and Loomis. You know what I mean?
Point.
Like, not so much a therapy session, but just the two of them talking.
Yep.
And her, you know, just
good point.
Dealing with what she's dealing with.
There.
There's a connection there between her and Loomis, and I again love Margot Kidder. That's my lowest, but.
Oh,
like, you
Margot
know what I mean? Like
Amityville Horror. No, that's.
Oh, yeah, that too. But I just felt like, you know, he missed an opportunity here. Rob Zombie, I'm saying, like, it doesn't have to be like she's seeing Loomis as a therapist. It's more like she just feels like, because see, now we get into like, okay, let me okay, so you mean to tell me from the events of the first film, this is what you're going to have Dr. Loomis evolve to this pompous prima donna, give me my fucking latte douchebag. Yeah. Okay. I mean, like, his patient escapes the mental hospital and goes on a killing spree. Right. And so now he's going to be, this is, instead of the opposite of what I said not a few moments, but about 15 minutes ago, where I said, he feels like a failure. He's hung up his, psychiatrist hat. He's living in a, small little place in Haddonfield, and the only person he talks to maybe is Lori, and maybe she's going to him for advice, but he doesn't want to give her advice because he feels like he failed as a psychiatrist because one of his patients, Michael Myers, her brother, did what he did, and then now this is what we get. Like, what in the fuck? Like, again, love Malcolm McDowell, fucking Clockwork Orange, and everything that dude has done. In his performance was fine for what he was given and the direction he was told by the director, but shitty fucking move on Zombie's part. He should have gone the opposite direction. Well,
yeah, and the thing is too is that you often feel that this is Rob Zombie's answer for being too similar in his first movie. It almost feels in some ways, and Rob Zombie aficionados out there can correct me if I'm wrong. And in that, I mean that unless he said something else to the contrary, but it certainly feels like it almost feels, and I'm not saying that he did do this consciously or that even subconsciously, but certainly it is so a departure from the first movie and is more along the lines of, it feels almost spiteful. It feels almost like, you know what, I'm going to do this for part 2, because he didn't want to come back to do part 2.
No, he didn't.
He didn't want to come back to do part 2 at all. Of course, money talks, bullshit walks, but he came back, he did part 2, but it was probably under the guise of, okay, well, if I'm going to come back and do this, I'm going to do this, and he made it his own. And you have to, there is a level of credit you have to give, but the reason why there's that what the fuck, is for the reasons that I said. And the reason that Tony is, it's strange to have Loomis in this. Of course you can. You can have Loomis be a fucking pole dancer on a cow if you want. And that's what we decided to do after the first Halloween. Yeah. I mean, you can have him do whatever you want, but it's about what is most likely. What is most likely? What's most probable that this character, knowing what we know about this character in the first movie, everything that we've become know about him and his ethics and this, that, or whatever, what is most likely the most likely scenario for this character to be after this scenario, after everything he's been through a year later? And it's this, and it's strange. I wouldn't expect him to be like that. And
that's why I'm saying it's so out of like
it is.
It's like, where are you coming from with this? Like, whereas, like I just said a moment ago, the Loomis who, is, depressed and,
that's it,
alone and doesn't talk, doesn't see patients anymore, feels like a failure.
Yeah.
That would make more sense coming off the events of the first film.
Right. Right.
He would not be this.
Right.
It just makes because to be honest with you, not to cut you off, Dave, but it makes him look like a fucking douchebag. 100%. Like, he doesn't care about what happened to Lori or the girls and whatnot. Like, I'm just in it for the fucking money. Like,
100%. It's a very strange character arc, because I would expect that, I think what I think would be better for the narrative actually would be, like you said, he feels guilty, he feels at a loss, he's older, he feels ashamed, and he's maybe a bit of a recluse.
Taking responsibility, feeling like this was his fault.
And maybe he's lost his license. Maybe he's, do you know what I mean? Like, and maybe him and Lori are actually, like you said, instead of Margot Kidder, maybe him and Lori's actually trying to get help, and she's getting help from Loomis, but secretly. And people don't know this. Even her own doctor doesn't know this. Loomis, maybe he's lost his license. He shouldn't be giving advice to this girl, and because there's a connection between them now, and there's a connection. Yep. I don't mean a romantic connection. I'm talking about a connection that people share when you've gone through a traumatic event, and you bond over that, and you share over that. And Michael is still out there, and because she's still his sister. Sorry, she's still his sister, and Loomis maybe wants to sort of.
And she should have known way before when she finds out.
100%, 100%. You know what I mean? 100%. And I think that, it's like the Rachel thing, right? It's like the Rachel thing in Halloween 4, where you want that relationship that you've established to continue to develop and nurture it over into the next film. And when that doesn't happen, it feels strange, because you've, like, again, in Halloween 4, you have Rachel, a girl who wanted to, not that she didn't, she hated her foster sister. She didn't, but she didn't really, she's a teenager, and her foster sister's getting in the way and all that kind of shit, right?
I'm just laughing at hobo Michael
Myers. I know, I'm seeing it here. I know. It's a strange,
like, no,
it's a very
I don't need to see this shit, man.
It's very strange. It's strange. It's strange. But if Rob Zombie, if his first Halloween was very like this too, then this wouldn't be out of left field. This would be very kind of in line in what we expect.
But in reality, would Michael have a full beard like that? Yeah, of course. I mean, if he's hanging out in the woods somewhere for a year, he's not going to a barber and doing what I'm doing.
100%. But it's no matter how people try to justify it, and people try to say, oh, but it's good because of this, it's good because, I'm glad you like it. I think it's a big pile of donkey shit, and there isn't anything you're ever going to say that's going to convince me otherwise. And that's not me being stubborn. That's like me saying to you, well, there's really not much, there's probably not anything I can say that's going to convince you that it's a big pile of donkey shit. But what is important when people debate back and forth is to go beyond saying something is just shit or really good, because anybody can do that. You have to be able to quantify it. You have to be able to measure it, and that's what Tony and I are doing here.
And that's why I made the notes ahead of time. I wanted to assure, and I told people in the DMs who were like, "Don't just please don't just shit on this movie for 2." We're not. I'm pointing out the
shit
goods,
on it for 2 hours if I feel like it.
But I'm also going to point out. I'm pointing out the goods. I'm telling you guys what I like, but I'm telling you guys what's just not not working for me.
100%.
And I'm sorry, I don't like seeing Michael like this. This is just, there's no reason for this scene. There's no reason for, Michael to, for us to see Michael unmasked with, the beard and everything like that. It just,
well, it becomes Rob Zombie, as I've said many times, is a very specific, for whatever reason, and, bless him. If that's what he wants to do, great. But for whatever reason, Rob Zombie has a keen interest in telling stories that revolve around people with the IQ of turnips and are hick. Like Rob Zombie, I don't think, listen, I know he looks a certain way. He's got the long beard, the tattoos, and he's, I get it. But if I didn't know any better, it's like he has some sort of obsession with redneck characters and it's just.
Well, we said that earlier. He's afraid to branch out from his comfort zone. Right.
And it's a very, like, I understand I don't understand why, why each one of his movies has to be very exploitative and redneck and hick and skull fuck you and all these things that are just weird. But nonetheless, here we are, Halloween 2, and he's doing what he's doing, and he's telling his original
this
story.
Is when he has the Rambo knife now too. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And
got the Rambo knife.
Right. And you know what? Like I said, for a lot of people who like this, maybe this was the first Halloween movie you watched. Maybe you're 25 years old, you're 30 years old, and you grew up on these movies. But you have to remember that Tony and I are nearly 42. So, we come from an era. We come from an era where these movies didn't exist. We remember an era where there was no internet, as a lot of us older, people, not that we're old, I'm just saying over 40 do. So, when we watch movies like this, it's very difficult for people our age to get on board with something like this because it's such a departure from what we know. And this is such a departure from even Rob Zombie's own Halloween.
Right now as he kills the girl.
Oh, yeah.
It worked for the Octavia Spencer moment because there was a subtle grunt.
Yeah.
But this just got like obnoxious.
Well, it got like he was having some sort of masturbation thing. But I'm just, there he goes. He got the pizza. Now, to finish what I'm saying is that it's not just a departure from what we know about Halloween. It's a departure from Rob Zombie's own Halloween movie. And so, like, that's something to keep in mind too. It's like watching The Last Jedi against The Force Awakens, right? There are people that love The Last Jedi for all the reasons most people don't like. And it's because it's such a departure character-wise from the natural progression of what these characters would do. It's like, Bruce often says, and he's absolutely right, imagine watching a television series for 4 seasons, and then all of a sudden in the 5th season, your characters start doing something very out of character, something they would not do based on their arcs and the things that we've learned about them and their, the things they've learned and the, the things they've gone through. They start doing things that are out of character. It doesn't make any sense. Yep. And that is what it's like, is that it feels avant-garde for the sake of it. It feels subverting expectations just for the sake of it. It doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel organic. It feels like I'm going to do this because they expect me to do this. It's like, well, but did you set it up to be that? And
now we're going to see him eat a dog. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah, he's eating a dog.
I'm surprised PETA hasn't fucking shitted all over this movie.
Let's get some super chats in here. Some super chats came in. Let's get these. Okay. Movie Chat and More says, Devil's Rejects better than this? I like the Devil's Rejects better than this. Yeah,
way better than this.
Mendel Goodman. Thanks, buddy. Mendel Goodman sends in a $5 super chat and says, if this wasn't named Halloween and the killer wasn't Michael Myers, would it have been a good movie on its own? Well, it's hard to... No, I don't think it would be a good movie. If this movie wasn't named Halloween and the character wasn't named Michael Myers, no, I think it actually might even be worse.
It's just a slasher film.
It might actually be worse. Yeah. It'd be like, what the hell am I watching here? I don't even know what this is. Sean Sheridan sends in a £5 super chat, says, the film is like Blair Witch. Love or hate love
Are you
or
talking
hate,
about the 2016
I'm
or 17,
not sure.
whatever it was, Blair Witch?
Maybe talking about the first one. This film was like Blair Witch. Love or hate, love Blair Witch. Halloween 4 and 78 are on another level to the rest of the series. Halloween 2, 1981, most bland. There we go. Coming from Sean Sheridan, folks. That's how he feels. Blood Red Sky sends in a $5 super chat and says, director's cut is the Devil's Rejects, pretty much. Shows Michael's face walking around daytime, no mask, with his, I know, I've seen it, with his mom's ghost and the little boy apparition. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Brandon Barry sends in a $2.99 super chat, says, Dave, surprised the movie wasn't rated NC-17. I'm not really surprised by that.
See, now we got this like obnoxious scene in black and white. Like, this is, there's just no need for it. Yeah. Sherry Moon's talking to him, and now we're going to see this fucking weird artistic skull with a Michael Myers mask on top of the skeleton. What? And now they're at some fucking dinner that looks like belongs in a Texas.
I know.
Hey, man, Rob Zombie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, sign me the fuck up. That's what he should have done. I would still love to see what he would do with that franchise.
Many people say that, and I have to agree.
That's his wheelhouse. It's that hick country fucked up shit. That's his wheelhouse.
I'm actually surprised. Now, I don't know if he's ever been approached. Maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe he really doesn't want to. I don't know. Maybe he's like, you know what? I've had a tackle of a franchise. Halloween wasn't exactly a great experience. Don't want to tackle another one. And maybe he feels that way. But you're right, in terms of the style of movie that Texas Chainsaw is, it's Rob Zombie.
Right up here. It's totally him. Yeah.
Totally 100%. Totally 100%. And like I said, I mean, for this movie, it's just, I think I would, and I think most people, it may not be your cup of tea. Like, there's two things happening, right? It's not just a departure from what I love that shot though, with the trees on either side of the house there.
I love that.
Beautiful symmetry.
The Haddonfield and seeing the country, like,
it's great. It's great stuff. But nothing about this says Michael Myers to me. And you have to understand, folks, that this is in 2009, this was already an established character, a very established character in the pop culture consciousness, one of the most iconic horror slasher villains in the history of motion pictures. When you make something that's such a departure, see, even Rob Zombie's Halloween, you know, I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie and his 2 Halloween movies. Tony likes the first one much better than me, but even I will say that, like I said, that first movie, as it's a departure, it is a departure. I mean, skull fuck you bitch in the first 5 minutes. It's a departure, but there's still remnants. There's still something there. And I think for this movie to just catch on, it would have had to have been its own thing from the very beginning. Loomis would have had to have been a pompous asshole from the very beginning, and all sorts of stuff. This is such a strange character arc for him. And it doesn't really change throughout, does it? It doesn't really, like, it's not like he has a come to God moment.
Well, at the end, they try to redeem the character. But for me, when I finally saw the movie, and it was when I saw the movie in its entirety for the first time was when we talked about it before doing the live watch here. And there's Scout in the short little t-shirt. Thank you, Rob Zombie, for that. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie when we're in the real world and not in the dream. She's number 6 on my list. People keep asking me, like, how come Scout isn't in your top 5? She's 6. 5, to get to the top 5 in the Final Girls, it's my top 5 it's a tough act to follow. You're talking Nev Campbell for me, Amy Steele, Ellie, Rachel from Halloween 4, Heather Langenkamp, and then Jessica Biel from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's a strong, for me anyways, that's a strong top 5. But I put Scout in number 6. She's right there.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, this is another dream sequence where she's dressed up as Michael as a kid in the same costume, and now they're gonna recreate when Ronnie's killed.
That's right.
And now
this is a dream sequence, isn't it? I forgot about that.
No.
You see, getting away with one dream sequence in a movie is very tricky with today's audiences. Mind you, this is
10 years, well, more than 10
12 years ago now, but still, it's modern for all intents and purposes. This is something that you can't keep having this level of, because this is, Yeah, look at this. This is just
Yeah, like this is no. Like no.
Wow.
I mean, visually, the trippiness of it is cool from just like if I was doing a YouTube
well
vlog,
edited.
But, yeah,
okay.
but,
The cinematography's
like,
cool.
No, this should not be in a Halloween movie.
And you walked out of the theater in this movie, right?
I don't think when I saw it the first time, I walked out before this happened.
Wow.
I think I walked out during the Loomis, when he's talking about selling the sizzle in front of the Myers
I was just going to say, what was the moment for you where you were like, I've got to leave?
When I looked at Devin, I was like, I'm out. It was during that whole bullshit scene between him and his PR person. So I hadn't seen this until when we did our show a couple of years ago on this, and when we just talked about it. And when I was watching it in its entirety, I was just like, oh, man.
I think I didn't see this in the theater. I saw the first one in the theater and I didn't walk out, but I was like, oh my God, this is a pile of shit. Yeah. And then
the establishing shots here are I gotta say, with Michael coming into the
it's a great shot.
I love those, like showing the
shot.
country and I've based my Michael Myers and my pictures that Haddonfield is set in a very country, Midwestern town. And Haddonfield, I mean, in the first film, you don't really get the sense of how big it is, but you do a little bit in Halloween 4 with, some of the opening credits there and what they show you of this country town.
Yep.
And I like that. And, I will say the transitional shots that Rob Zombie throws in from time to time with the country setting scenes, I like that. But then we get back to this shit where Loomis is pompous and,
but but like I said, I mean, in bad movies, you can find good things. Oh, that was a nice shot. That was a great scene. Love the cinematography here. Love that character arc, or whatever the case is. But a movie is supposed to be is a bunch of moving parts, and there's a lot of moving parts. Speaking of parts, here we are at the strip club.
Nice transition.
Yeah. No pun intended there.
No pun at all.
Super chat from Half Ass Pod sends in a $5 super chat. Says, "Hey guys, question: hot take or simply a reach? Rob Zombie is one of the most creative horror minds in Hollywood. I would say that is a reach because there's not enough diversity, not enough diverse portfolio, and he doesn't. I would say that that's a reach. There's no evidence for it.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, I like The Devil's Rejects. I like Lord of Salem's. That was good. That movie. Lord of Salem. The question
is, one of the most creative minds in Hollywood. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough.
I will say he's creative when it comes to his music videos. His music is different, and I will give credit where credit is due. I love his music videos from the artistic perspective that he comes with it at time. He throws a lot of nostalgia horror into it, so that's cool. It's always enjoyable to watch. When it comes to him as the filmmaker, like Dave was saying, he consistently has stayed on a similar pattern and only really changed his tempo with like Lords of Salem, and that was more of a witchcraft type style movie. Not to spoil it for those who haven't seen it.
I thought this was,
and it was solid. It was really solid. I was like, why don't you branch out more? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you do more of this to, like Dave said, diversify your resume?
Yep.
Because you look at Wes Craven, you go from Last House on the Left to Nightmare on Elm Street to Scream. All three films are different. They're not the same. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then everything else in the middle, Shocker, and people. He did People Under the Stairs, right?
Yeah, Wes Craven did People Under the Stairs.
Yeah. So he's got a very diversified portfolio. Same thing with John Carpenter. You got Halloween, Christine, Fog, fucking The Thing. They Live. Very diversified. Rob Zombie, man, it's his comfort zone. I get it when something's working with you and your fan base, and that's what your fan base expects. I get it, but I do think the talent is there if he just would be willing to take the risk to say, you know what, I'm going to branch out and try some. Maybe I am going to do something like Hereditary and not be so, country hick type thing and do something with multiple layers or something like, dude, because if you watch Lords of Salem, there's a little bit of that Hereditary layered type, make you kind of think, horror film, but not enough. And I would be very interested to see if he would push into that a little bit more and, like you said, diversify his portfolio.
Yeah, I think the reason why he doesn't is because he doesn't give a fuck. And he strikes me as somebody that is lazy, that wants to do his own stuff. If he's going to make a movie, he wants to do his own shit mostly, and he mostly has. Apart from the 2 Halloween movies, I mean, The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, the sequel to The Devil's Rejects, 31. I mean, they're all movies essentially that he's, that is very him. And I don't think he wants to go off and make a romantic comedy. I don't think he wants to go off and make a drama or make a mature psychological thriller with layers, that are deeply seated in symbolism and like Hereditary or Midsommar.
Oh, this is the head stomp.
Oh, yeah. Where is it here?
It's like 2018, man. One of my
yeah, there it is.
It's unnecessary.
There it is. There's the head stuff.
Unnecessary.
But at least it didn't like spill out like a bunch of
like in the 2018 film.
In the 2018 film, which doesn't make any sense logically.
Yeah, of course you got to have Sherry Moon in the shot with her eyes bugged out too.
Oh yes, you have to have that.
It.
Now, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I get what this.
Don't.
No. I mean, in terms of, I get why they're there. They're not actually there. The mother isn't actually there. Obviously, it's symbolism, right? This is his subconscious. He's showing a visual representation of the voices that are in his head. Essentially, I understand that. I mean, it's not. I get that. Oh God, please, this guy would never end up with a girl like that.
No.
Look at this guy. Hey, baby, come on now. Fuck on, motherfucker. Let's go, man. Come on, Michael. What you gonna do, bitch? Yeah, let's get all this. Yeah, here it is. Got to get the hick. Maybe it's just, maybe this was the life that he lived. I don't know. Did Rob Zombie live a hick life? Maybe he did. I don't know. I don't think he did, but maybe he did. I have no idea.
I don't know where he grew up.
Couple super chats. Let's see here. Gary Rangel says Brad Dourif's performance is fire. Got to admit, he was great.
Yeah.
He was a positive of the movie, for sure. Tyler Davis sends in a $5 super chat. Says, what director would you have rather remade Halloween instead of Rob Zombie? I don't know. At that time,
during the height of when all this was happening with all the remakes,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would have to go back and see who would have been an option at that time. I'm not really sure. I mean, and I know people are going to go, James Wan. It's like, I love it when people ask, or, when you ask something, people tend to just pick the first name they know that is a horror director. And it's like, well, yes, James Wan is very good at a specific type of horror, but I don't know if Halloween would have been appropriate for James Wan. James Wan was a horror director at that time, by the way. But anyway,
he was doing the Saw movies, right?
He was doing Saw, Dead Silence.
Conjuring was on the horizon, not quite.
Yeah,
but it was on the horizon.
Let's see here. Jeff Harris sends in a $4.99 super chat. Says, how would you rank Zombies' First Mask? Not a fan of the movies, but I dig the first Mask because, in my opinion, it was the best mask since '81. At that time, I would agree. At that time, I think it was the best.
The first, I didn't like what he did to it in the second one, but correct. The first one he did, the first mask, it's a great looking Myers mask.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like what it looks like here, but I agree that in the first Rob Zombie film, it was
like half of his face is showing and shit.
I know. And super chat comes in from Blood Red Skies. Says, Rob said he made Loomis this way because he thought he would have made it big and famous having Michael Myers as his patient in reality. I guess, well, I understand what he's saying, but I
don't think that's reality. I think if you're a doctor and legit, someone, who has a conscience, okay, if this is your patient that just did this, you're not going to turn around and turn into a prima donna and sell books and like that would make you a total fucking douchebag.
Well, and that's
your patient.
You're right, Tony. And to your point is that it's not that what Rob said is incorrect in terms of a possibility, but it's how the character responds to it. And when you look at the character of Loomis in Rob Zombie's first Halloween, there's nothing there that would lead us to believe that he would do a 180 because of some sort of connection or fame of some sort right above. I would be more likely to believe that it would devastate him. He's a man of science. He's supposed to be a man of science. Not that not that people of science don't have this kind of thing, but he's essentially having a breakdown. Loomis is having a breakdown, and I don't believe that that the character that was established in the first movie would do that, and that's why I'm assuming Tony's the same way, and that's why we have issues with it. If you had established him already sort of being kind of, surfacey, levelly in the first movie, well, then it makes sense. Then it's like, oh yeah, totally, that he's the kind of guy that would do that.
In fact, it devalues the speech that he gives to Michael one-on-one when Michael's older and he's looking across to him saying he can't see him anymore.
Right.
I failed you. I failed you as a doctor. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a very good point.
Now I'm going to turn into a pompous douchebag and fucking milk this for all I fucking can.
Yeah. I think it's not that, again, it's not that one is right or wrong. It's about what's more probable based on, well, I guess you could look at that being right or wrong, but I think it's better for the movie. I think it's better for, it adds more weight and more heart to the film if Loomis is struggling with that reality of what happened and trying to make a connection to Laurie because he knows that Michael's going to come back. Loomis doesn't give a fuck right here. He's signing books and all this kind of shit and meeting fans and stuff, and you could say that maybe deep down inside, because he has that 180 towards the end of the movie back to where he was in the first movie, that maybe deep down inside he was, but then I have to believe that he really is having a bit of a breakdown here. He's the kind of man that becomes a psychiatrist, a man of science, but then a patient of his becomes famous and he loses all control and decides to write a book and do fucking Oprah. Like, I mean, what, like, really? That's not the kind of guy I want as my psychiatrist. That he's so easily persuaded to do that, so easily does that. It is a little strange. It is a little strange. Blood Red Sky sends in a $5 super chat, says, Rob said he made Loomis this way because he thought he would have made it big and famous having Michael as his patient in reality. I think we were, you just... I just read that.
You did that one.
Yes, I did. Movie Chat and More says a drinking session with Rob or Carpenter. A drinking session with Rob or Carpenter.
Every day of the week, man. Carpenter would fucking annoy me after like 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's right.
I couldn't. No, not with Carpenter.
And look at this. He's traveling around in a limo and things like that. Like, and here's the thing too, is that traveling around, like, what did he do? Cure cancer? He wouldn't be traveling around in a limo. He wouldn't be doing that. There's no way he'd be doing that. There's no way he'd be traveling around in a limo like this. It's a little, I think what it is too, it's a little spoofy in some ways. Like when you watch Loomis's character traveling around in a limo, it's kind of a little too sensational. I don't believe that he'd be traveling around in a limo. Let's say for argument that, okay, he did become this guy. Really? He's traveling around in a limo, sucking back alcohol. It just seems... I agree. I think it'd be more believable if he became more of a recluse and was struggling to find, of what was the right thing to do. And then he seeks out Laurie.
And Laurie should have already known at this point that Michael was her brother. Her finding out in a book, no. I mean, because you're telling me she survives the night, she's trying to figure out why this dude attacked her. Brackett reveals to Loomis in the car that, who Michael is, who Laurie is in connection to finding her at the Myers house when Mrs. Myers kills herself. All that should have been established off screen right from the get-go. With her finding out here and changing her name to Angel, I didn't like that. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't have kept her name as Laurie and just changed her last name to Strode once she was adopted. The fact that they changed her name to Angel Myers was just whatever.
This is a good point here. The Mr. Movie Buff 01 says Rob Zombie compared Loomis to Vincent Bugliosi, always talking about Manson. yes, I can see what Rob Zombie, if he said that, means. The problem is that you need the time for the character to become that character, right? Bugliosi was a hotshot young lawyer who was arrogant from the start. He was that guy before he tried Manson. And then of course he wrote Helter, I think it was Bugliosi that wrote Helter Skelter, right? I think it was him. But anyway, yeah, Bugliosi definitely, he was the guy that put Manson away, and Bugliosi was arrogant. Like if you listen to people who knew him and talked about him, he was kind of, I get it, but this all happened, but there's time for that to happen, right? There's that time, it becomes more believable that way. If this movie was, say, 10 years later, and this is the way Loomis was, then it's kind of like, oh shit, what happened to Loomis? And then we sort of discover throughout the course of the film what happened, right? Like maybe he did for the first year or two, he was a recluse and he didn't know what to do. And then he wrote this book to help himself feel better. And then all of a sudden he did, but it seems like it happens so quickly, you know, it happens fast. And I personally have trouble believing it. I have trouble believing that Loomis would do this.
I mean, again, her performance is it's great when she's finding out.
Yeah,
and
for
but
sure.
it's like, this should have already been well established. You know what I mean? Like,
there's Tony stops at the outfit here on this girl. I noticed when she walked into the room, you're like, you know, it's kind of like, yeah.
Whatever.
It's just funny. It's great. No, she's, yeah. Yeah, Halloween. Obviously, Halloween. Her friend should be better. Her friend should be, yeah, they're not very, not that they're bad friends, but I mean, come on. You shouldn't really be celebrating Halloween with her. And it's only a year later, right? It's only a year later.
Yeah.
Right? Like, am I wrong? I think it's only a year, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a year later.
Yeah.
In the timeline, yeah.
Yeah. And that's his book, obviously.
Yeah, Angel Myers.
I just don't believe he'd become like, it's not, the problem is that Malcolm McDowell was directed to play a character that was a caricature of himself. He's like a cartoon character. It's like a caricature. I don't believe it, you know. Hey, Weird Al Yankovic. White and nerdy.
Oh, Weird Al.
White and nerdy.
Living in that Amish paradise.
That's a deep cut right there. That's going back. Yeah. What about Eat It and I'm fat?
I'm fat.
Hey, he couldn't do those today. He couldn't do those today.
No.
I'm surprised. Folks, let's not cancel Weird Al. Okay, let's just keep Weird Al there.
Parodies are long gone, man.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. Can you imagine him doing a parody today called "I'm Fat"?
Oh my God. That would be it. He'd be done.
That's a great parody too. Troy,
cancel culture would get him.
That's it. Troy Grubb sends in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Troy. Really appreciate supporting the channel like that. Great stuff. Lady Claire says, Dave, but Dave, then why doesn't Luke's arc work for you in TLJ? It's several years later, and we find out things that led him to award his arc. Well, the problem with Luke in The Last Jedi is that when you look at everything that Luke learned in terms of the arc that he had, the hero's journey he was on in the original trilogy, and you look at the morals and the messages that he learned through saving his own father, the death of his father, becoming the last Jedi, so to speak, Return of the Jedi, it's difficult to believe that everything Luke has learned through his arc, that he would cut himself off from the Force at the detriment, and even not go to his own sister, right? It was difficult to believe that. Now you could say, well, he did in the end. Well, yes, he did sort of did in the end. It was a little kind of too late for my liking. But I didn't believe Luke would behave that way. And neither did Mark Hamill, by the way.
I'm just going to leave it at Luke's arc was shit. Like
it had nothing.
Alexander Field said.
Yeah, it wasn't for me, and I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it wasn't 40-year-old fanboy expectations that were not met. There were it's like a character is a certain way. You see, maybe if Luke, if there had been a trilogy after Return of the Jedi, not the prequels, but a sequel trilogy that happened 10 years later, and we saw a young Luke, but a bit older, going through stuff that led to where he was in The Last Jedi. Well, maybe it's like, oh, there's a shit, he's, all this lost hope and all this. I don't believe that the justification, I don't believe that he would be on the verge of turning on Kylo Ren. All the justification that Ryan tried to give us, I don't believe that because of what was established with the character before. I don't believe that he would have been like that. Cutting himself off from the Force, not going to save his sister? I don't buy that. And then there's just a lot of, that's one part for Luke. There's a whole other thing with that film as well, obviously, with the structure of it. But that's why. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that, Mark Hamill even read the script and was like, this doesn't make sense to my character that I would do this.
It's one of many reasons why I don't subscribe to Disney Plus, because I really don't give two shits about Star Wars. It's sad because I used to like Star Wars, but I'm so checked out on that universe and just like, I have no interest anymore in it. A lot of it is because of the culture that Star Wars is in now that it's just not fun anymore. Yep. And that's why I don't subscribe to Disney Plus. Everyone's like, have you seen Mandalorian? I'm like, no. Tony, I saw the first season, but that was it.
Tony subscribes to Disney Negative, actually. It's it's a whole other show. This Halloween party looks like it'd be fun. Hey, that actually really did look like we had Halloween parties like that back in the day. Really?
Not like with girls that were topless. I was just
gonna say, really?
But like live bands, everyone dressed in costumes.
I was just gonna say, I totally missed out. I should have come to your Halloween parties.
Part, but yeah.
Next time
it's reminiscent. Like growing up in the country where I grew up in Connecticut, because I grew up in a country part of Connecticut. That's how our parties were like. And we'd have the high school band,
right.
Whatever
I gotcha.
band.
I gotcha. Yep, totally gotcha. Timestamp for those of you just joining us or joining us at all. It is timestamp is 1 hour and 7 minutes into the movie. We're watching Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween 2. Yeah, that's true. Bobby Hall says Luke's change of expression at the end of TFA and beginning of TLJ is like how Loomis' expression of I knew this would happen in Halloween 1 changed to oh shit in Halloween 2. Yeah, when you look at what JJ set up at the end of The Force Awakens, when you look at the expression of Luke, when he's looking at Rey with that lightsaber, there's pain on Luke's face. There's anguish. There's something there. I don't believe that Luke would toss that lightsaber away. I don't believe that. That lightsaber, there's too much history to it. There's too much symbolism to it. It would mean too much to him on where did this come from? Where is this girl? And Rian Johnson, albeit has even said, although not maybe as bluntly as I'm going to say it, in his own way, he's even said that I subverted expectations because I was just subverting expectations. He didn't say it like that, but that's what he was doing. And sorry, Ryan, you gotta, when you establish characters, if you're going to make a 180, it needs to be justified. And it wasn't. I don't believe Luke would have tossed that lightsaber at all. And I'm the first to say that it's not that I don't believe that he would have been on the island. Maybe he would have been, but not to the degree that they made it out to be. Anyway. Oh, here we go. Was that a girl or was that somebody in drag? Oh, it is a girl.
That's the girl. Her Halloween costume was
I got it. I see it.
Tim Curry's Rocky Horror Picture.
Yes, that's really good. It was really good.
Scout plays the maid from Rocky Horror, and I forgot what the other one played.
See, I don't think Scout, although I get why they wrote her doing that, but
Scout.
I mean,
Sorry, I was just having a moment.
How-
I was just thinking.
how much more? I mean, you'd be so traumatized going to a Halloween party.
Yeah, like I mean, again, there was so much potential here, but scouts dancing around and dressed. I mean, it's fine, but like like you just said, she just found out, Michael Myers is her brother, and okay, like I get you need to detox and unwind and stuff like that. It would have made more sense if we were progressing to this point in the movie where her friends were trying to convince her to come to this party, and she's like, no, because she's still struggling with everything that she's found out,
Right.
But her real life, and then Loomis maybe finally convincing her, like, hey, you really should begin to start living your life. Then, okay, that would make more sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now here's Loomis watching himself on late night television here. Let's see what he's saying. I'm just going to turn this up for a second.
Bloody horror show showcasing Dr. Loomis's own self-inflicted.
Yeah, this is when he starts to have his redeeming moment. This is when they begin to start to turn the character back.
That's right. Yeah.
But at this point, I mean, it's way too late. I mean,
well, it's also a strange. It's kind of unnecessary. It's kind of like, I get what he's done. But then why go there anyway? Like, why go there? Well, we're just going to have him go here and then we're going to pull him back. But why? I mean, I don't see there's nothing that Loomis learns from going total batshit crazy to coming back from batshit crazy that he couldn't have learned by just continuing to be not batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's an unnecessary arc that doesn't go anywhere for him. I know you could say, well, he went batshit crazy and he became obsessed with fame in his book, and then he learned that, but it's a weird arc. It's unnecessary. It's just don't have him do it and have him.
Well, now she's having visions.
Yes, she's having visions.
Here we go.
She's having visions, folks. There are the visions. Who is she supposed to be? Scout? She's dressed up as
Lori. Oh, she's the maid from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, right. The maid from the Rocky
that was her
Horror
whole
Picture
theme.
Show. 100 episodes. 100, folks. 100.
See you guys at
snackaroos. 1,000. Oh my God.
We'll make it. 900 more to go.
900 more to go. That'll be 2046.
Something like that, because it took us almost 3 years to get to 100. So yeah, it's about another 27 years.
Yeah. We'll be 85. We'll be in our 80s.
we'll be two old, grumpy old men.
YouTube won't even exist anymore. It'll be some other thing.
It'll be some weird virtual thing that will be like,
we'll actually
some Star Trek shit.
Yeah, we'll actually be in your living rooms, folks.
Exactly. We will be right there.
Yeah,
doing
beside you, talking to you.
Dave will be doing lap dances for you guys.
I'll be doing what?
Lap dances.
That's right.
Oh, and this is when landlines were still. That's right. Landlines were still around. But we're on the brink of landlines becoming extinct at this point.
Right.
2009. Like, this is like smartphones were becoming a thing, and people were no longer keeping the two, except my father, who just refuses to get rid of his landline, even though I never call him on it.
Does he have a cell phone though?
Yeah, I call him on his cell phone, text him. I never call him on his landline. So, he's like one of the last few people I know that has a landline.
So who contacts him then on his landline?
Nobody, probably. He just has it just in, I guess. I don't know why he has it.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, Derry. Smoking a cigarette. Getting ready for little Michael to come to home. Oh, there he is.
Oh, that's right. So we're coming up to Annie's death, or Danielle's. And Danielle really didn't have that big of a, you know what I mean? Like, and then not that there were, anything wrong. Her screen time was good when she was on screen. Again, I do like the execution of the kill. It, you don't see it, you hear it. It's good. And no complaints.
Yeah.
I don't know how he finds her, but that's just me. I'm just saying, like, she's clearly living out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
She is. He just knows.
How Michael finds her, I don't know.
He just knows. He just knows. He just knows.
His mom tells him.
His mama. I'm here, bitch. And there it is. She's gonna look. She senses it. She senses it right now. She's like, wait a minute, what the?
I do wonder if it's because people do associate her as Jamie Lloyd, and no one wants to see her get killed by Michael. Is that why he went off screen with it, and you only hear it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe it was Danielle. Maybe she didn't want to.
No, because she's been killed in movies before. I've seen her. She died in Urban Legend.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot she was in Urban Legend. That's right.
Yeah,
she was the goth chick in Urban Legend, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah. See, you just all you do is you hear.
Yep. Yep. I don't know. I mean, maybe, or maybe it was just a stylistic choice. It was just a creative choice. It could be as simple as that. And it just so happened to be her. They decided to do.
And
that.
it was a brutal, like listening to her scream, "Ow, ow, ow!" Like that's fucking intense.
It's
Good vocal performance by Harris. Telling the kill. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, it may not be that. I mean, who knows why? It was a very smart, cool, creative choice on her.
100%. It could just be a stylistic, creative choice. 100%. The Nightmare Man sends in a $2 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Says, wrote a sequel to Resurrection. Can you read my script? Unfortunately, no. Tony and I do not read scripts. If we did, we would never be not reading them. And we just don't have the time, unfortunately.
You know what you need to do with that script? You need to get a small little budget together and bring that script to life so we can watch the film.
There you go. There you go. But I wish you the best of luck with it, my man. Jeff Harris sends in a $4.99 super chat and says, which version of this movie is when Michael says, die?
Oh, isn't that the producer or uncut or whatever it is?
Something
I've seen
like
the clip of it on YouTube.
Die! I'm a hobo! Die! I'm a hobo! Die! He actually just says that. That actually was a deleted scene that never wound up in the movie. Die, I'm a hobo. Man. Die, I'm a sexy hobo. He actually said that. Die, I'm a sexy hobo.
As Laura or Scouts putting on the mask.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Where's the Valium? Where's the Cialis?
Oh, I just forgot. You do see a little bit of cutback scenes, but you don't see him actually doing anything there. You just see him trashing the place.
Yes. Yep. That's right. Nightmare Man sends in a $1 super chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you supporting the channel, my man. Die! I'm a sexy hobo. Yeah, that's some serious blood there. That's like full on.
Yeah, she's not surviving.
Scene.
She won't be in the trilogy.
No,
nobody will be in the trilogy.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Gary, the version we're watching, it's probably the theatrical. It's the regular rated R. I'm watching it off of Amazon Prime. Dave's watching it off of Canada YouTube, because in the States YouTube it's not available for us.
It's weird because it's not. That's so weird because our YouTube.
It's not on iTunes or on YouTube. I had to go to Amazon to get it.
Oh, that's weird because our YouTube's not really that different. It's just YouTube.
Well, you don't have access to HBO Max. You told me that.
No,
which
that's
is
true.
Weird.
I don't. No, nobody does.
If your theaters don't open, you're not going to be able to see Kong versus Godzilla. So it's like, what the fuck?
Well, or unless it goes to the Cineplex store, which is Cineplex is the theater chain up here. It's like our AMC. And unless it goes to their store and we can rent it from their store online for like 20 or 30 bucks or something, and unless we can do that, maybe that'll happen. But yeah, YouTube is not, I mean, it's just YouTube's YouTube. Like there isn't a YouTube Canada or a YouTube US. It's just YouTube. So I don't know why. It didn't show up for you. That's so weird. Unless
this house, by the way, out in Georgia, it's in a really nice area out in the country of Georgia. Like, oh, if I could buy this house, I'd love it. It's like literally, it's secluded. It's on a nice lot of land.
Who's he killing here? Oh, he's killing the blonde chick.
The third wheel.
Oh, right. The third wheel.
I don't know who she is. Honestly, I couldn't tell you her character's name.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
That's sad when you don't like. I mean, I know. Like, look. Halloween 5 is what it is, but I can tell you the fucking characters' names. You know what I mean? Down to fucking Sammy, the blonde chick.
Yeah.
And fucking Tina. You know what I mean? Like, but I couldn't tell you the name of the other two girls in this movie that are friends with Lori. I know this is Annie.
I don't know who they are either.
But I don't know who the other two chicks are.
Let's call them Blanche and Rose. Okay.
Little golden girls.
They're Blanche and Rose. That's who they are. Because I don't know who the fuck they are either.
So in other
Blanche
words,
and
when
Rose.
when they see Lori, every time they look at her and say, "Listen, Lori, when you invite us to a party, you can count on our gift being the biggest."
That's thank you for being a friend. The brunette that was dressed up like Rocky Horror Picture Show, that was Blanche, and the blonde is Rose. And and Annie
That works
here,
for me.
Yeah, Annie is.
But that's sad when you don't know the names of the characters in a Halloween movie. And like I could tell, but I will say where I give credit where Halloween 5 is credit is due. I at least know the minor characters. You know what I mean? Like that I don't really care about.
Right, right.
Tina's boyfriend's name is Mike.
Yes.
Right? Isn't his name is Mike? And Sammy's boyfriend, who gets the pitchfork through him. Oh shit! I'm drawing. I can see his face.
Thank you.
Spitz, right? Spitz.
Oh,
like that.
in part 5?
Yeah, isn't that his name?
Spitz?
Yeah.
Swallow? I don't know. You know, it
Something like
was
that?
Yeah.
Spitz, something like I just hear her saying Spitz in the barn or something like that.
I think it's Spitz.
Oh, this is when Jamie or Daniel Harris dies.
Yeah, she's
I will
dead
say
now.
the music here was very poetic. It was sad and
Yep.
you know, like it was good.
Yep. Love hurts. No, that's from part 1. Oh, is that a pentagram? Is that a pentagram?
It is a pentagram.
Well, that's
little
weird.
night stalker thing going on there.
That's a little strange.
Little night
Little
stalker-ish.
666. Why would he write that on there?
Hey,
He
you
wrote
actually
that on
got me
there?
into you got me to watch the fucking Netflix.
The Elisa Lam thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was it's interesting.
it is.
I would say interesting.
Yeah. So,
So when I saw your video, I was like, okay, I'll check this out because it's only a 4-part thing.
Yep.
It wasn't that long.
Yep. So did Michael Myers here, hobo Michael, did the hobo actually take, did he take spray paint and spray paint a pentagram?
I
in
think it was
666?
already there. I think the girls just did that. That was how the girls
okay.
did their room up.
Okay.
I think
Well,
the
that
girls
can
put
be
it there,
symbolic if it's used in the right ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one. And Brackett finding Annie dead, you know, same thing. Like,
Yeah.
it just,
yeah, for sure. I mean, you know,
his reaction is better than I will say Cypress. His reaction when he sees Annie at the Wallace's
you
house.
let him out. I didn't let him out. You let him out.
Although they're two different, though. I can't say one is better than the other. I just prefer Brad's more because he collapses to the ground. His daughter's gone.
Yeah.
Whereas in the first film, it's a believable reaction. He's like,
Yep.
I need to.
Oh, for
go
sure. No. It's
my wife,
it's
you
a
know what I
sad. It's sad, and he
But
feels
this is
guilty.
like
And
fucking gut punch, man.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, seeing Daniel Harris dead.
look
in
at
a
all that
Halloween
blood.
movie.
That is so much blood that I don't even think if she was alive she'd recover. Like she'd need a blood transfusion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of blood, and I love that they're picking him up. And yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Like I said, there's good moments, right?
There's good moments in
That's
this
a nice
film.
moment.
There are.
That's a
Yeah.
nice shot. That's a nice moment. You know, we're just talking. You know, but when you look at it as a whole, which is how you're supposed to judge a movie.
Well, we've said this throughout the whole movie tonight watching it. Brad's performance and Scout's performance, there's no
fine.
complaint.
No.
Every scene that they're in, they're strong scenes. It's everything else that's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's because it's a departure. It's if they had, again, I said this at the beginning of the show. If they had actually established this style in the first movie, well, maybe the first movie would have done well.
Different.
But
you know, maybe we think differently
right.
about the.
But it's
the
a
two
strange departure in style. Not cinematography, not, you know, I mean, it is what it is, but it's just that's strange that they've gone this direction.
That old barn that she's running from, that's in the back. Well, you see how the shed or barn thing that's behind her, that's still there. It's decaying like crazy, but
it's still there.
A lot of this stuff is still. If you ever, for those of you who are into like doing what like Adam the Woo does and goes to the filming locations, a lot of what you see in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, is still here in Georgia.
Right. Adam the Woo.
Adam the Woo. I haven't watched his videos in a minute.
I watch his videos from time to time. I actually, when I was at the Pasadena convention, I didn't even realize he was there. It makes sense he'd be there. But when I was watching my footage after the fact, I saw him in my footage. And I was like, oh,
you saw him in your footage?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't even see him when I was there. So but for whatever reason, I guess
he'd be a fun dude to just kind of hang and just talk horror movies with on a Saturday afternoon.
He seems like an interesting, absolutely. Yeah, he seems like a really fun dude. Really fun dude.
I think me and him would have a lot in common when it comes to the music, because he likes a lot of the punk music. I like some punk music.
Yeah, he does
as well too.
Chester
Franklin Jr.
Through the front windshield, ladies and gentlemen.
What's my favorite Rob Zombie Halloween? To Kill in this movie.
What? Oh, here he is picking up the car.
Well, I would say Daniel Harris. Daniel Harris's kill is probably the best in this movie.
He's picking up the car right now.
It's the way he executes the whole sequence. Yeah, I go with that. Of course, he's gonna be able to flip over a fucking. This looks like a Chevy Chevette.
Laurie Strode.
It wasn't.
Laurie Strode would seriously be in like a psychiatric unit for the rest of her life.
Oh yeah, she's done.
She's done.
Yeah, there's no coming back from this. Like, yeah,
she's done. She's done. It's over. It's over right
She's
now.
The new Michael Myers.
Yeah, she's done. She's gone. She's done. It's over.
Now the family's together.
Oh, yes, the family's together now. We're so together. This is so lovely. Let's walk back here together. Let's do it together.
I remember watching this when I finally preparing for our first time we covered both, because we did both movies.
We did.
I was just like, my God. I was like fucking screaming at my television screen, like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
I know. Blood Red Skies sends in a $5 super chat and says, Michael creeped up behind the cop and strangled him exactly how Ray died in H-18. In both films, Michael creeps up from the shadows and strangles them. All right. I didn't draw that parallel, but yeah, that is what happens in both. That is true, Mr. Blood Red Skies. Blood Red Skies. It's your dance intro, Mr. Red Skies. Red Skies. Listen here, Brackett. Shut up.
Brackett's about to go full Rambo now. He's like, okay.
I think
I'll handle
Brackett.
this.
I think Brackett should have gone like literally bazooka. Bazooka, machine guns, like that scene in Predator.
This is his Rambo moment. He ties a fucking thing around his head.
Yes.
He's like, that's it.
Yes.
You hear like the subtle Rambo theme going.
100%. I want to see that scene in fucking like Predator.
Like this shit here, like
they're tearing shit up.
Why? I love you, mommy.
I love
Why are we seeing
Mommy.
this? She would not be seeing this. This makes no fucking sense.
That's why she's not saying suck my dick. I mean, that's...
No offense, Scout. Nothing but love. That was a bad heart. One more time.
Yeah, it was
bad.
That's right.
I can't do it. I'm not Gen X. Sorry. I can't do the hand gestures.
You're not what? You're not
Gen X? Isn't that the generation after us?
No, we are Gen X.
I'm sorry. Who's generation after? Gen Z?
Millennials are after us.
Millennials?
Yeah.
Gen Z?
Yeah. We're on the tail end of Gen X, and then after us is millennials, and then and then Gen Y.
And like she's sitting there, she can't release herself. Like there's an imaginary kid holding her. Like what the fuck, man?
Yes. And then the helicopter.
Like this is.
Michael, it's me from the chopper, you fucker!
Loomis gets a fucking.
Loomis isn't even there.
No,
Loomis,
he's drinking his fucking vino.
Why is he even in this movie? Why is he even in this movie? He's done nothing to contribute to the narrative of this film. Now, I understand that he's going to kind of, come back here at the end, but it's an hour and 28 minutes into the movie, and Loomis has done fuck all in this fucking movie. Oh, God.
So what does it go? So we're Gen X, then it goes millennials, then it goes Gen Z. Is that how
Gen Z or Y or something like that? Something like that.
All right. The generation before us would be what? Boomers?
Boomers,
right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
that's the shack I was just telling you about. That shack is still there.
Yep.
I mean, it looks a lot worse than it does in this movie, but no, it's still there.
It's still there. See, Brackett right now.
It's like literally like right off of a road.
He should have a fucking like bazooka.
The Rambo gun.
Yes.
Like, ready to fucking like.
And he should be standing.
Corey, get your ass out of there! I'm lighting this
100%.
fucker up.
He should be standing on top of the squad car like you do in GTA 5 with the fucking bazooka and just unloading and blowing everything up. There should be a wild carnage, fire, mayhem. He's shooting his own police officers. He's going insane. Fucking insane. I would love it. I'd love to fucking see that. That'd be outstanding. All of a sudden, Loomis. Oh, it is Loomis. He's suddenly there. You let him out.
He went Rocky on him and knocked him down.
He did.
He one punched him. Loomis went down like a bitch.
Yeah, this is like having him just kind of show up at the end. Just kind of seems shoehorned in. You know, it's like
it really does. It's like let's shoehorn in this
turn
turn to redeem his character a little bit. Again, I take nothing away from Malcolm McDowell, the actor. He performed
he's a
his
brilliant
role
actor.
The way he was told to do.
Yeah.
No, it's just the character that he got stuck with.
That's it. That's it. No, I get it. I totally get it. I'm going to tell you right now. Let me go. All right. Get your fucking
I'll go have my tea.
I'm going to strip naked and walk into the line of fire. He's naked. I will help. I'm saving the day.
In fact, you know what? Instead of feeling sad that Loomis dies, I'm actually like, thank God. You know what I mean? Like after what we saw for the whole film, like
100%. Now imagine
knock him right out.
Imagine if Brackett right now kills Loomis by shooting a bazooka at him.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's right. You sucker. Suck.
Yeah, like he's holding me down. There's no bitch, there's nobody
favorite.
there. Look, not calling her. I'm just saying, like, the character, like, come on.
I absolutely love this movie. It's my favorite. I love it. I'm telling you, it's the best. It's the biggest.
God, this is
it's
so
a tremendous
far.
film.
Like,
I love
we're
it.
so in a whole nother dimension with Halloween right now. Like,
I love it.
None of this is making any sense. Laurie Strode's hallucinating that
It
young
makes
Michael
perfect
Myers
sense.
is holding her down.
Melania does this too.
Mom Myers is there saying, take us home. Okay, this is cool where Loomis gets it. I'm okay with that.
This is Melania's favorite moment in
With
the
the
movie.
Rambo knife, of course.
Yes, I love it. Melania loves this. I love it. It's my favorite moment. You shut up, Melania. Go back to bed. I love it. It's great. It's tremendous. It's the best. It's great. Kill it, Michael. You're not fired.
Yeah,
I'm going to hire you
Not
tomorrow.
coming back from this shit. Jesus Christ.
Like, what was the point of this?
What
was even the point of this? So Loomis comes back for what fucking reason? He does fuck all. He does nothing. He's pointless in this movie. Oh, I guess that's what he does. He inadvertently somehow, by dying,
sacrifices
himself. Michael picks him up, steps in front of the window. So from beyond the grave, Loomis somehow makes a difference.
If I were sitting in the room with Rob Zombie, right, I'd be like, be honest, bro, you were tripping on some major acid when you filmed this sequence, weren't you? So I think you need to be like, I think you either need to be high as fuck or tripping on something to understand. Oh, Jesus, Loomis.
Rob is great.
Rough there.
Rob is a great, great businessman. I love him very much. I'm going to hire him tomorrow. We're going to make a movie. It's going to be called Trump Taking a Dump.
Of course, now she's going to be all like, my brother, my older brother.
My brother.
And now she's like, I love you.
Brother.
Even though you killed my friends, you've been chasing me for the last fucking 2 years.
Trump
now you're going to be like, I love you.
Yes. Yes, she loves him. I love her too. I love women. Yes, this is what's happening right now. Yes, she can feel it. She's picking it up. She can feel in her mind. She can feel it, brother. I'm going to take over for you, brother. We have a connection. We have a connection. We have a connection. They have a connection. like me and Melania.
See, I would believe this more than fucking her being like, "I love you." I'd believe her fucking going batshit crazy.
Yeah,
and teeing
because
off on
he's
Michael.
responsible
That
for her
makes
psyche.
sense.
Yes, because he's responsible for it's yes. Trump taking a dump. Rated R.
Oh, she's stabbed
What
in
the
the head.
fuck did I just watch? You watched Melania's favorite movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. She steps out with the fucking mask on.
Yes, she does. I would have killed her. I would have
Same.
blown her away. I would
Same.
have blown her, and I mean, like, light her up with all the squid.
Yep. I'd have been like, bracket, light her up.
Light her up. Light her up. Like full on, boom. Yeah, full on.
Okay, I'll say this. Up until the ending, Scout's performance as Laurie Strode is phenomenal in the first two films. And then
true.
Rob takes it into a direction of no.
I know.
Just no.
It's great.
It's not Scout's
Great.
fault. Can't be hating on Scout.
Yeah, it's
Love the
great.
girl. Sexy as hell, but this is bad. This is just so bad.
Caleb Ellis says, dump the Trump already, Dave. Caleb, you're fired. Okay? You're fired. It's over. Fuck you. Okay? You're fired. Get out of here, Caleb. No Christmas basket for you with a Trump chocolate. Yeah,
And of
this
course,
is like, what
now
the
she's in a
fuck,
fucking
man?
mental hospital and okay.
Light her up!
Fucking little homage to Norman Bates here.
Yeah, oh, totally. This is
And this is the first time you're
absolutely
hearing
psycho.
actually this is the first time you're hearing any
In-
Halloween music, because you don't hear really any Halloween music during the whole movie.
No, that's actually very true. That's actually very true. Yep. It's Laurie's theme.
Yep. Which I hope they bring back in Kills
Yeah.
or Ends. That was the one thing that was missing in the
Yeah.
2018 film.
Yeah.
I love that sound. I love the 2018 soundtrack. Just
Mhm.
I would have loved to have heard this as well too. And of course, she
Seeing
sees
the
the
horse.
white horse.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
gonna ride off on and
Yeah,
be like,
she's
"I
riding
hope
off.
Silver."
She's riding off. This is it.
I hope
A little
Silver
smile.
away.
A little smile. You're next. It's like Goldberg. You're next. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything related to wrestling. All the WWE fans now are going to be like, did you see?
Actually,
No.
folks, Dave and I are revealing it tonight. We are going to do the third film in this installment, and we're bringing Scout back. And yeah,
Yeah, we are. We're
Scout's
bringing it
the
back.
killer.
Oh, yeah. Full on. And she's going to get blown
Full
away
on.
in the first 3 seconds of the movie.
after she blew up. No, never mind.
Oh!
I didn't finish it. I didn't finish the line. Finish my
Oh,
thought.
I don't know.
I didn't finish my thought.
I don't know. There you go, folks. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I do
There
like
it
was it
is.
Tyler Bates. He did a good.
Tyler
he
Maine.
no, the guy who did the score.
Oh, the score. Yeah.
yes, Tyler Bates, right? He did a
I
good
think it was
job with the
Bates.
score.
Yeah, Bates. Mr. Bates. Yeah, that is it. That is Rob Zombie completed
made it.
his vision. He
We
completed
made it.
his vision. He completed his vision, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Zombie completed his vision. Goodbye. Get the fuck out of here, Donald, okay? Enough of you.
There's a really good chance we'll probably do the viewing of Halloween Kills online and on an episode of Two Dudes before this year is over. Because I don't think we're going to get to see it in theaters.
Yeah, I no. Well, no, it'll probably be streaming. Frank Riker, my man, Frank the Tank. $5
Frank
super
the
chat
Tank.
says, no funny anecdotes or Blum stories for me tonight. This was horrible. Now, please excuse me. I'm gonna go get an enema. This is great. Oh, Frank, we love you, Frank. We do.
Oh, there's Hobo Myers. Nice black and white picture.
Yeah. Oh, I've already turned it off.
Dave's done.
I'm done.
I'm just because I've never seen.
I'm
I've
done.
never
I've
actually
already-
gone through the credits like. Okay, so they're done.
Yeah.
I was just curious how many still photos.
Yeah,
they
no, I
had.
got out when I was like, that's it, I'm out. I'm
That's
totally
what she
out.
said.
I'm not fucking watching that shit. Warren Armour says, good show. Hope you all had a good Valentine's Day. Yeah, hope you had a good Valentine's Day too, Warren. Great to see
I just
you
watch
here.
scary movies all day.
Yeah, I just I went and saw Donald Trump. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's getting annoying now. That's why I like doing it. Shut up. I gotta have some sound bites of Trump. That's what I gotta have. I gotta have some sound bites of Trump. That'd be so.
But can you though?
Funny.
I mean, I don't know. Like he's like the devil. Right?
I know. It's just fun. God. Anyway, Edwin Sordo says, "Can you believe Michael talks in the director's cut? Yeah, he's like, die, I'm a hobo. Die, I'm sexy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's unbelievably crazy.
He channels his inner Predator Arnold.
Oh yeah. Come on, do it. I'm here. Come on.
Yeah, Matthew, this movie did drive Dave insane, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Dave is totally gone now. I think there's no coming back.
I'm gone. I am gone. Good night, everybody. Movie Chat and More sends in a £5 super chat and says, my Halloween quiz is 10:30 p.m. UK time. Anyone joining? Well, there you go, folks. There you go. Anybody wants to head over to Movie Chat and More and get in on some sort of Halloween quiz he's having? There you go. Matthew Ferresi says this movie drove Dave insane. Yeah, yes, it did. Bobby Hall says, hey, Tony, when I mentioned the new Karate Kid CDs from La La Land a couple of weeks ago, I meant that they contained additional Conte score that wasn't included in the box set. Sorry for the confusion.
Didn't we discuss that?
No, he says sorry for the confusion. I think he was just...
There was no confusion. I got it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
We on the same page?
We on the same page, Bobby.
I feel ya.
Chris Baber, one of my new moderators here on the channel. Chris Baber sends in a super chat and says, thank you very much, Chris. Says, this movie started off with potential, but sadly ended flat. That horse, though. The horse. I'd rather hear the horse talk.
Mr. Ed.
Frank Lives Matter. That's funny. Frank Lives Matter. You know what? The horse should have talked.
Absolutely.
And it should have been like, hey.
I mean, if we're tripping hard already, I mean, we might as well go full throttle with it. What the hell?
But the horse's voice should have been, hey, Michael. Hey, how you doing? So,
hey, George.
Me and your mom want to tell you something, okay? We want to just let you know that it's not your fault, okay? Come ride my back. Come ride my back. Jump on me. Let's ride down the road together. And then when Michael jumps on Michael's back and they're riding down the road together, the horse is going, yeah! yeah, and you see the horse's face going, yee-hee! Yee-hee!
Crazy.
Dude, would that not have been amazing?
That would have been amazing.
That would have been fucking amazing. That would have been.
It would have made this movie better than the '78 film.
Yes, in the chat room right now, who would not have wanted to see the horse talking?
Insert sarcasm.
The horse talking. Hey, Michael, and riding down the street. Michael look. I watched this whole fucking movie with Michael and the white horse, and I never got a chance to see him ride the horse. Why didn't Michael ride the horse?
Nobody rode the horse.
Nobody rode the horse. I would have loved to have seen Michael galloping down the street into Haddonfield.
I'm just picturing that, man.
Dude, do you know how fucking amazing that would have been? And amazing in a really bad way.
I'm here, bitches.
Yes. Yes, Tony. Yes, I'm here, bitches. Galloping like Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade. Like fucking galloping, and the horse is going, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Oh, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, that would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing.
You should do a fan film of that and title it the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 deleted scenes. If Rob finds it, he'd be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
They're your deleted scenes, bro.
What's that?
I'd be like, they're your deleted scenes, bro.
They're your deleted scenes, man. I want that in there. I'm telling you right now, somebody out there right now has got to animate Michael Myers riding Rob Zombie's white horse.
You just got to film it and insert it into the movie.
That's true. But I'm talking, somebody's got to create that shit. A horse, Michael is galloping and the horse is talking to Mike. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, boss. Fuck, man. It would be amazing. Jeff Harris sends a super chat and says, what if Michael rides on the horse, but it flies? Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yes. Like fucking what's that fucking 80s cartoon? Rainbow Bright? No. Was it Rainbow Bright that flew on the horse? No.
I don't know.
Fuck, dude. I'm telling you, that would be amazing. Edwin Sordo says Dave's losing it. No, this is just me being me. You just don't see this side of me.
No,
very
I
often.
think you've turned into Lori here at the end and gone fucking bullshit, batshit crazy.
Yes, I'm telling you, man, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. It'd be amazing.
There was another Oh yeah, from Blood Red Skies. It's a $2 super chat. It's a horror version of Never Ending Story. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm telling you, almost.
And then you insert the two kids from Stranger Things singing the theme to Never Ending Story.
Yeah, yes. Never ending story. Almost there. And he's breathing, and he's on the horse going, hobo. Here comes the hobo.
With a sign that says "Hobo Lives Matter."
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, that would be terrible.
I should do a photo of that. There you go.
Oh my God. Gary Boy says Dave has a contact height from Rob's acid trip. Oh, I've contacted something from Rob's acid trip. Maybe I have.
Probably.
There you go. Sweet Tea. Hey, Sweet Tea. Great to see you here. Sends in a $9.99 super chat. Really appreciate it. Congratulations on your 100th episode. Love y'all. Funny stuff tonight. Thank you very much, Sweet Tea. Really appreciate that. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I think we peaked at about 230 tonight. We're still at about 190, which is great. Some people are still sticking around for the after party.
The shit show.
The shit show. That's right.
We're actually technically, guys, we're gonna rewatch it again. That's the.
Don't say that because people are gonna think we're serious. We're actually gonna watch. We're
gonna put ourselves through it one more time.
That's right. And this time it is the white. Almost there. There. Oh fuck yeah! Bobby Hall says D&T. I know Halloween isn't the first slasher. But would you say it's the first slasher that depicted its antagonist in a somewhat supernatural way? Well, Bobby, I would say that when you define a slasher film, it was, I don't know for certain whether that is true, but I will say that Halloween is often known to be the first slasher film because again, it was in its infancy still, to depict what would become the common trait of what we know slasher movies to be, at least what they were in the 1980s, the boom of the slasher era, which is a killer, whether supernatural or not. Now, they all ended up being relatively supernatural, whether it's Chucky or Freddy, Jason, Michael. There was always usually Leprechaun. I don't know. There's usually some sort of, Hellraiser, Candyman. There's usually a supernatural element to the character to some degree. But what Halloween was the first to do, I believe anyway, was at least first on a big scale at the very least, was to introduce the idea of the teenage crowd being stalked by something. So there's that teenage, because it all ended up being that, whether it was Friday the 13th, whether it was Halloween, whether it was A Nightmare on Elm Street, they all depicted that younger, kids being stalked by the boogeyman, you know what I mean? And insert whatever boogeyman that is.
Yeah, because I even tell people, because they'll be like, well, what about Chainsaw Massacre? It came out, in 74. I'm like, well, Chainsaw Massacre is a horror movie. I don't define it as a slasher movie like Black Christmas. I don't define Black Christmas as a slasher movie. Because you got to remember, at the time when these movies came out in 74, slasher was like, there was nothing like that. You know what I mean? No one knew what to call these movies. They were horror films. Right. And, in Chainsaw, it's not just, yes, Leatherface is the key character. I know that. Yep. Okay, so I'm not arguing. But it is the whole family, too. You know what I mean? It's not
That's
one.
True. That is true.
It's the whole family. It's the Sawyer family. Black Christmas. Okay, yes. I mean, you can argue that there is a bit of slasherness to, or slasher-esque to it, but I still wouldn't call it a slasher film. I'd put it more even in the thriller type.
Well, it is. It's because what a slasher is has evolved, over many years, and yes, by today's standards, if Black Christmas was released today, and this is not a spoiler. I've said this from the get-go. It's Me, Billy is not it's very much in line with what the original Black Christmas is. So if you're expecting blood, guts, and gore in It's Me, Billy, you'll be gore. You're going to be disappointed. If you're expecting a high body count, you're going to be disappointed. If you're expecting some, like the movie.
Well, first of all, I don't think you can get a high body count in 30 minutes unless you just went batshit crazy.
No, it's true. It's true. But that's the kind of thing where it's very, but that's on purpose. We wanted to make a film that was very much in line with the original, something the 2 remakes didn't do. Yeah. So that's what we did. Black Christmas is Texas Chainsaw. I can see why people would consider that a slasher over Black Christmas, but certainly neither are really slasher per se. I mean, there's no blood in Texas Chainsaw.
Barely.
And I mean, that's right. Barely. Excuse me.
It's mostly implied. It's mostly pretty
implied.
Much everything is implied.
Yeah. And but so what a slasher has evolved over the years, and it's and that's natural. That's a natural progression. You get more and more desensitized, and filmmakers and studios keep pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable and what the MPA will accept and what kind of a rating they'll get. And that happens insidiously, no pun intended, but it does. These things sort of creep up on you. And before you know it, you're watching movies like Hostel and it's like, holy fuck, where the hell did this come from? And not that that's a slasher film,
Do you know I've still yet to seen Hostel?
Oh, wow.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I know. It's like Hostel is one of those movies that just somehow got away from me and I never saw it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For whatever reason. It's not like I don't like the movie. It's just I've never had a chance to really just sit down and watch
I got
it.
you.
Everyone's telling me like, just watch it, you're gonna love it. It's one of those movies that I haven't had a chance to sit down. Do you like it? Did you like Hostel?
I've only seen it once, and it was 16 years ago when it came out, which I think was about 2005. I think that's when it came out. And I remember liking it, but I haven't seen it in, probably since then. So, but I remember liking it though. I do remember liking it. Let's see here. Matthew Ferresi sends in a $2.99 super chat, but retracts the message. Movie Chat and More says, join the Halloween quiz Friday, 10:30 p.m. UK time. Bantam 360 says, $4.99 super chat says, is this the episode where Myers gets locked in the Bounty County jail? Man, that really does my rack of the cough. Oh, I get what he's saying there. It's kind of an inside joke to the channel. In the Bounty County jail, which I think all of that is like hate mail, is like a spoof on the hate mail videos I've done in the past, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think so.
Good old hate mail and hate messages.
You gotta
They're great.
Forgive me. Sometimes I forget because I've done so many of them. Oh, those hate mail videos are fun, man. They're absolutely fun. I think I'm caught up. I believe I am. All right. Zach Gaxiola says, Dave, if Halloween Kills is as graphic or more graphic than this film, would it bother you? No, it's not going to bother me.
I don't think it's going to be as graphic as people think, though.
Well, it's going to be pretty graphic.
You think so?
Yeah, I kind of know.
I mean, if John Carpenter is praising it, and John Carpenter doesn't seem to be the type of guy who really likes graphic-y stuff.
Well, no, it's let's just say a little source has told me.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So it's going to be violent, but the thing is that it's not going to be out of nowhere. And I suspect that, like, and I don't want to, okay, it's like Halloween 18 was a fine modern day slasher, like I've said, but it failed largely for me as a Halloween movie. But now that the cat's out of the bag and this is what has been set, I understand the style, I understand the filmmaker's style, the choices. And now, as I've said many times, even David Gordon Green probably doesn't feel, now he's making a sequel to his own movie, not to the original. So I think you are going to see them step up the ante, and I don't think it's going to bother me. It may not be my style, it may not be my choice, but I'm going to judge it on its merits in relation to what's come before. How does it feel? Does it feel strange to suddenly get this violent? Does it feel appropriate? Is it gratuitous violence?
I mean, based on what we saw in the
sake?
first 2018 film, no, it wouldn't be.
No,
it wouldn't be. Yeah.
But as I've often said, in that first movie, I actually liked the balance. Now, I understand that they need to appeal to the audiences of today. But the one thing I did like about the 18 film that I did really like is that they showed you the kills, but they didn't show you the kills apart from Marion Singh's death. they didn't really show you the kills happening. They just showed you the aftermath of it. And it was eerie. The makeup job that they did and the visual effects that they did on some of the aftermath kills, I found more effective than actually seeing the kills happen. Like the jaw that was torn apart, you know, at the garage, and the police officer when that kid came across, you know, when Hawkins came across one of the cops at the bus crash and his neck was all the way back and Dave is pinned to the wall, and like all that stuff I found actually, it's eerie, it's creepy, because for me, I think, wow, imagine coming across that and thinking to yourself, what the fuck are we dealing with here?
Sure.
Like how bad, like, oh my God. I found that creative choice, they struck a balance between theater of the mind but yet they still showed you the after to kind of, you know, make they wanted to, you know, please those who wanted some gore. And I get that. But in Halloween Kills, I think they're going to go a little more gory, which, okay. You know, and let that be as it is, but we'll see how I feel about it. You know, now that I know the style, we'll see. And you guys know me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to nitpick it or say I don't like it just because I'm, you know, for effect or something. I'm going to be honest with you. What do you think, Tony? You think you'll like it?
I mean, in comparisons to the 2018 film, that's not a tall order. So,
ooh.
I mean, I've
no, it's true.
Shied away.
No.
I've never shied away from the fact that I didn't like the 2018.
That
film.
is true.
It's not my cup of tea. So,
yep.
Thankfully, I've kept myself pretty closed off to, you know, news stories. You know, I've seen the trailer, obviously.
Yep.
I've caught a few things here and there, the photo release and stuff like,
yep.
You know, and people kept DMing me like, how come you're not talking about the photo? Because it's a fucking photo. What do you want me to say? Like, I mean, it's a cool shot.
He's got
yes. Okay, from a photographer point of view, maybe I could have done that. Maybe I could have said, "Hey, look at this cool lighting."
Tony, where were you, fucker?
You know what I mean? But no, really, dude. People got mad that I didn't talk about it on Instagram.
Like
dude,
mad.
like I'm not kidding.
Like really mad.
They really got mad at me.
God.
Like, why aren't you mentioning anything about the photo? Like, because like it's a photo. Like, I mean, I guess maybe people were expecting me to like, you know, like what? I guess critique it or like. There's nothing to critique. It's a cool shot. I love the split lighting on Michael. I love the blue lit, what looks like a stained glass window behind him. I thought that was really fucking cool.
It's cool stuff.
The one of him coming out of the house with the fire around him. Yeah, I mean, if I could do a shot like that and make that a photo, fuck, I'd love it.
100%.
But maybe I don't know. Maybe I could have. My mind wasn't there thinking to create a video on Instagram to talk like a bit because it's a photo.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that because I have no expectations now going into this film, that maybe I actually will enjoy it. You know,
right? I got you.
My theater going experience with this franchise hasn't been the best. I mean, honestly, it starts with Curse of Michael Myers and that disappointment. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I did enjoy Rob Zombie's first Halloween. That was all right. I enjoyed H2O. Those are probably the two Halloween movies that I've enjoyed seeing in theater for the first time.
I love.
I'm not like saying enjoyed, meaning like I fucking walked out of there going, yeah, it's fucking the best.
Right. I absolutely loved Resurrection. I mean, I love that.
I can't even believe I made it through that movie.
Tabitha Short says, please help support my candle business by sharing or even purchasing some homemade soy candles. Anything helps. Thank you. Yeah, Tabitha, one of our great moderators here on the channel.
Shop.
Yeah, she's really cool. And she's got a great little business that she began not too long ago. She's making these candles and stuff. And I'm going to buy some from her.
Same here, especially like the Christmas tree one around the holidays.
Yes.
Tabitha. I definitely want to get some of that.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. So anything could help because, she's making some cool shit over there. Movie Chat and More says, Martini without the woman. I do remember that. That was an amazing insult to me in a hate mail video. I loved it. Like, it was like, Dave, you're like the Martini without the woman. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's good. I love that. That was great. DreedMem77 sends in an incredibly generous super chat, ladies and gentlemen, and says, Dave and Tony D&T, congrats on 100 episodes. Although I don't always agree with your viewpoints, you both...
Dave!
But Dave! No, well, that's it. Fuck you then, Dread. No, I'm just kidding. You both bring great insights and get me thinking of things I wouldn't have originally thought of, and you do so in an entertaining way. Now, please pick a movie that doesn't suck next week.
Well, just for that, we're going to do Punky Brewster the movie. How about that?
Punky Brewster the movie. Dream,
you know, my sister hit me up the other day, like, you know, your girl, well,
isn't she back on a show or something?
That's what my sister was telling me, because I had a huge crush on her in the 80s. Like, you know,
Punky Brewster and Tony
like
sitting in a tree. KISSING.
Well, you know, we're the same age as the girl, so like,
I guess we are. No, I get it. I totally, no, I get it.
But my sister was like, she's coming back. I'm like, no, she's not coming back. And then I saw, I'm like, oh yeah, she is coming back.
Punky Brewster is back. Punky Brewster is back. DreamMem77, thank you so much for that really generous super chat and very, very kind words, dude. Totally agree. Love your rationale behind it and your maturity as well. You know what I mean? It's not always about agreeing with each other. It's about... like I said, I'm always for people. I like it when people disagree because I think it's really cool. It's just I like it when they have sound arguments for why. I may not disagree with it, but I can go, well, I can see why you don't like that. Yeah, I can see that. The thing that Tony and I hate the most is just like, that sucks. Why? It just sucks. No, but how come? Yeah. It just sucks. No, but why? It just sucks. It's like, oh, well, I don't know.
No, you're right, and that's why I had to keep like
reassuring
people, like for the last couple of days in the DMs on my Instagram, like, dude, I'm not going to just shitbag on this film. I'm going to talk about the things that I do enjoy, because I think that's what you need to do. It's easy to sit there and criticize a movie that you don't like, but I do think, you know, you need to come at it and look at it from both perspectives, because I don't know, maybe it was his intention to like shitbag the film so that he doesn't have to come back for a third one. I don't know what his thought process was and why, but it just seems to me that he was in the ballpark. He was really close to making this a really good Halloween movie and just decided to go in a different direction with it. You know, whether it was Earl, if you were with us at the beginning of the stream where Dave and I were talking about the idea, I talked about how keeping the film all in the hospital, but they're all there. Loomis is there, Annie's there, Laurie's there.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea.
That would have been like, you know what? You're not ripping off Halloween 2. You're still making it your own, and everything that you see in that dream sequence is so incredibly done that you could have made a really good fucking Halloween movie if you made that in 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, So
and what was I going to say? Oh, damn. I lost my train of thought. I was going
But you know what? Oh, you know what? I wanted to mention in regards to his about the, you know, I never try to come at a movie either from a critic's point of view. And we've said that from the get-go. I've always tried to come at it from just like, I'm one of you. Like, you and I are just sitting down. We're hanging out at a fucking
It's two dudes and some bullshit.
Yeah, and some bullshit. Or you guys and some bullshit. And we're just shooting the shit, talking about like,
the audience is the bullshit. No.
Yeah, because this is like whether I'm doing this with Dave or I'm doing this with my buddy Devin or my brother, this is literally what we do. Like, we're not here trying to overthink and, you know, unless a movie like Hereditary, then that's going to make you think. But in general, we come at it. I tend to try to come at it from more as I'm a fan, just like you guys, and that's how I approach it. And I don't want to approach it from a fucking
but there's nothing. But to your credit, you come at it. You have sound, well thought out, articulated reasons for what you do. But you know what I mean, right? You're not just. And listen, guys, Tony has over 10,000 Instagram followers. Like that's
12, 11.6.
11.6. Tony has almost 12,000 Instagram followers. He ain't kidding when he says he gets I can only imagine the DMs you get from people. You have almost 12,000 Instagram followers. On a daily basis, I don't even have 2,000 Instagram followers. Like, I can't even imagine.
When I share an Instagram story, I get average about 1,000 people view it, and message and response are about 200 to 300 people who are responding. Like, most of them, like the ones I love are like Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea, she just does an emoji.
Oh, Sweet Tea is sweet.
You know what I mean? Like, she keeps it simple, right to the point.
Or sweeter.
Then there's some people who just like write me a novel, and I'm like, I can't sit here and read this, man, because I'm getting, you know, close to 200 to 300 of these every time I post a story. It's insane. And then of course, I get the DMs, you know, on top of that, of just DMs from the show, people, asking questions or piggybacking off of, something we talked about on the show. And it's nuts, and like, I feel bad that I can't get to everybody. And like, I have to do, like I did it last week where I was kind of I was lumping common questions into like my Instagram stories of like, what are my favorite photos that I've done so far and all that shit.
Right.
Cause I get that asked a lot, like, which one's the one you like the most? But
I can see that.
I, at the end of the day, I just try to have fun with it. Even on that, I try to have fun with it. I try not to take this shit seriously. I have fun with it because that's what this is. At the end of the day, this is entertainment. This is intended to be fun. It's what Dave and I do. I've said this before many, many times. Even on that, this is intended to be fun. It's not intended to take serious. If you're a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, dude, there's absolutely fucking nothing wrong with that at all.
Fucking loser. You're a loser if you like Halloween 2, man. You're a loser.
Trust me, when I first
loser.
Well, I remember when I was doing YouTube videos, I was having fucking like fight to the death duels with people about why I'm a fan of Halloween 4 and why it's one of my favorites. Right. It's my second favorite in the franchise as far as sequels go, to the original film. And it was like, I didn't have to do this shit back in the day. Why am I having to defend myself now? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, what the hell?
It's insane. It's insane.
It really is. So like, I mean, I appreciate people's passions for this shit, but honestly, I'm not one of those, man. Like, I'm a fan. I love it. I like collecting the stuff and putting it up.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
And keeping it where it's at.
That's
what I mean? Like, not totally. Going into like layers of this shit and getting deep with like.
And there ain't nothing wrong with it, dude. Super chat from Movie Chat and More says, oh yeah, Martina with that woman. I got that one. David Coe says, thanks, buddy. He says, if you could go back in time to see any movie in the theater during its original run, what would it be?
I just said this today.
So
That's
many.
Crazy that
there's
you
so many.
That.
Jaws, the original Star Wars, The Exorcist.
That was the one I said today when I was at the gym working out.
I mean,
we were talking about what if we could experience just what it was like. I would probably want to see The Exorcist because seeing people's reaction, and hearing the stories of how people were passing out and throwing up, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, that probably would have been really cool to experience.
I was I didn't see it in the theater, but I was fortunate to see Back to the Future at the drive-in when it first came out. And I saw I saw Gremlins at the drive-in too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
We got to see some really cool movies in the 80s growing up, the Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Top Gun, all that shit.
For sure, man. Movie Chat and More says Friday the 13th part 3 soon. Part 3 is coming.
Yeah, we haven't done a Jason.
Now that we
do a Jason film.
Yeah, now that we've crossed 100 episodes, of course, very soon we'll also be getting.
Let's do Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh God, Jason Goes to Hell. I'm about to go to hell. We're going to be doing very soon on the channel. We're going to be getting the joint ones to fill the perks. I think there's about 5 people that we have to get on here. Not all at once, of course. We'll be doing it over the course of so many weeks to fulfill. That was a perk on the It's Me Billy Indiegogo campaign. One of the perks was to join Tony and I on an episode of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit and watch a movie with us, a movie of their choosing. Of course, there will be certain movies you can't choose, like
Halloween.
We'd prefer if it wasn't Halloween or a movie we've already watched. Also,
I mean, unless you're really dead set on it and it's like your heart's desire, then I'd be like, okay.
Right, exactly. Unless it's just like, no, I want to watch this, whatever. Okay, fine. It also, Tony and I have ideas for movies that we're going to be doing as well. So if it doesn't line up, if we're like, oh, we're actually going to be doing that one, you know what I mean? Then we'll have to but there's so many movies out in the world that I'm sure we'll be able to pick one that we can watch together. So that's coming. So look out for that very soon. We wanted to cross 100 episodes first before we moved into that. And that definitely is going to be happening here on the channel. I just have to talk to Tony and we got to work out when we want to do it and how that's all going to work. And then we'll reach out to who we want to get on first and all that kind of stuff. Because I think, like I said, I think there's 5 of them. Now, again, you don't have to come on. It's not a prerequisite. There are other things you get with the perk, with the Two Dudes perk, but the Two Dude, I assume that you chose that perk because that was the big prize on the perk. So it would be strange if you were like, nah, I don't want that perk. However, you are not being forced to come on the show. It's just that is what you get with it, and you're more than welcome to, and we will be more than happy to have you on for your generous contribution to making It's Me, Billy a reality. Kevin Bacon's Boner sends in a $2 super chat and says, did you guys ever watch You Should Have Left?
No, I have not. Have you?
I've
heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Yes, I think I have. I believe I have. But I can't remember.
By the way, there's 3 super chats that you missed from earlier on. One's from Bud Gumperson.
Oh, yes, I see it right here. Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Matthew Ferrezzi, and I'm sorry if I said that wrong, and then Sean Sheridan.
I see them right there. Knock them out of the park, Tony. Hit a home run.
Sean Sheridan, what is that, pound? 5 pounds?
€5.
Put this below part 8. People can't slate this for being disgusting. Whole series is about a serial killer killing people. Hate for this film is nonsense. Well, I mean, if I like I said, it depends on the day of the week for me, either Resurrection is the worst in the franchise or this. I mean, I said that a moment ago. If you like this movie and it's your cup of tea, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But you have to understand, Sean, in my world anyway, as long as somebody can come to you with sound, quantifiable, objective, and I mean objective, but sound arguments to why it doesn't work, and these things are things that can be measured actually, then it is what it is. I think what is nonsense, in my opinion, with all due respect, is when somebody says, I hate that movie. Why? I just hate it. It's like, okay, but can you tell me why? No, I just fucking hate it. It's like, well, then I can't have a discussion with you. I can't have an argument with you. And the same goes with why I like something. I like it. Why? I don't know, I just like it. No, but why do you like it? No, I just like it. Well, but tell me why. What is it? Is it the story? Is it the cinematography? Is it, tell me why the character of Loomis worked for you. Quantify it, measure it, get me, think about it. You know what I mean? Sell it to me. You know what I'm saying? Tell me your argument. Why does it work? I'm not telling you to do that right now, Sean.
Not right at the moment.
I'm just saying, in theory, that's important, because when you come to the table, when you're debating back and forth or you have arguments, the last thing people want to do is to be committing logical fallacies. And in many debates, that's
you
what
sounded
people do.
all Dr. Spock there for a moment.
Well, that's what people do. But that's what people do, is that in debates, and it would take too long to get into the different types of logical fallacies and what a logical fallacy is, but many people commit them, and it's important that we know why we don't like something, and we can bring that to the table. Now, that doesn't mean the other person's going to like it. It doesn't mean they're going to agree with it. It doesn't mean I'm going to change their mind. But at least I come to the table with, well, this is why I don't like this, and this is what I would have done better, and here's why. Here's why I think this would work better for this film, for the story they're telling. And the same goes with why you like something, right? So, I mean, it's just, but if the movie worked for you and you liked it, that's amazing, Sean. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Bud Gumperson sends in a $5 super chat and says, you may have mentioned this before, but how did you guys originally meet? Well, actually, we
met on Tinder.
We didn't swipe right or left. Tony and I dated for about 6 weeks, and no.
I don't know. I don't have Tinder. I just know the I've never done online dating.
What do you mean you don't remember meeting me on Tinder? No, what happened was...
But what is it? Is it swipe right? Is it the one when you swipe right?
I don't know. Swipe right, left? I have no idea. I've never been on Tinder. So,
but no, we met through YouTube. I mean, just doing like Halloween videos. Yeah, we kind of, it was weird, like how we were, when we were doing similar things, but not similar things. And we had the same mindset on things. And then it just got more weird as we were communicating with each other through the message center of YouTube, of like, just, our birthdays being so close.
That's right. Yeah, our birthdays are 5 days apart.
Yeah, well, is it 5 days? Yeah,
it's
5 days.
You're the 29th. Right?
And then just finding out other weird, just similarities of just general things in life.
That's
we're like, oh, what the fuck, man? Like we literally lived a very parallel life, even though he grew up in Canada and I grew up in Connecticut.
Yep.
You know, it was just really weird.
And
so then when I decided, I knew I was not cut out for YouTube. Like, you kind of know early on if you're cut out for this or not. And I knew very much like this wasn't going to be my thing. Like, I didn't want to do it all the time. Like, you know, so that's when I started to make my change and really, you know, begin to do my horror theme on Instagram just to test the waters and see if that would, and then it did what it took off, and it you know, became a nice success for me. So I'm like, okay, there I go. That's my wheelhouse. That's my comfort zone.
Thing.
I like doing that better. I'm still creating content, but I didn't want to walk away entirely. So I can't remember how the proposal came between me and Dave to do the show. Well, I think it was more or less like what I'm saying right now. Like, I didn't want to go away entirely. I still wanted to do some videos, but I didn't want to be the one controlling it on my channel. Yep. So it just seemed logic to do the thing on Dave's channel.
And the thing is too, is that actually we should show, there's still close to 200 people watching. We should show, because it's only about a minute long, we should show, it plays at the beginning of the show, which you'll see when you watch the show back. But we should play the 1 minute of the first episode that I played at the beginning of the show. We should play that for them. I think it was in 2017. I remember seeing your videos, and I remember. Do you remember when you were doing watch? It was like a watch party, and you had the movie playing behind you, but you were also watching in front of you.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I did. I was doing that. I had the movie playing on iTunes behind me.
Yes.
And I didn't get copyright for it, which I was surprised.
And I remember I came into the chat room one time. I saw that you were live because I was subscribed to you. Yeah. And I was like, oh, Tony's live. And we hadn't even really talked to each other at all. And I just went into the chat room and I said, hey, what's going on? You know, and I think that was like, you did some.
That was the seed. That was the seed.
You did some epic watch-alongs, dude. You went like, no word of a lie, folks. Tony, it's too bad they're not there. You did like fucking 8-9 hour watch-along videos. It was insane.
It was insane.
It was insane, nuts. Dude. Yep. You'd watch like 4 movies in a row.
Yep.
It was insane what you did. But that's kind of how it began. And let me play that right now. Let me play this old kind of thing here so here is the very first episode.
It's a flashback, guys. The first episode.
When you watch the episode, the 100th episode, you'll see it at the beginning of the show. But let's play it again now for people who have been watching. Okay, so this is the first episode of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Here we go.
All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is Two Dudes and Some Bullshit.
A whole lot of bullshit.
Episode 1, horror. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking horror today. And this is going to be good. This is going to be exciting.
First episode. I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me here. This is going to be great.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Feels good to, you know, I'm kind of getting that rhythm back. You know, I did a couple videos here last week, so I'm still kind of trying to find that groove now that I'm starting to do content again. So this is cool. I'm glad you invited me over here to your channel to hang out with you and your subscribers.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is going to be a lot of fun. And of course, this is the first episode, so we're still trying to get the hang of everything here and make sure that we're broadcasting all right. But yeah, no, I'm having a good time.
In the corner there.
And there you have it. There.
I forgot that used. I don't know what the hell happened to that skateboard.
That's funny.
I think I broke that. I think I brooked that one.
That's
I don't
great.
know what happened to that? Yeah,
and
that board.
That's what it is. And it's funny. Nothing's really like I used to do all my videos from that perspective. I used to put the camera in front of me here and shoot this way. And I can still do that. And I've thought about going back to it as an alternate view. But when I bought the mixer and I bought this microphone and I I changed it up at the beginning of 2019. It's basically when I started doing McRae Live. I started to change it up, and I started shooting from this angle. I got a camera here shooting from this angle, and I kind of liked it. I don't know. It was just kind of a cool angle. I still have that cabinet with all the masks.
Yeah.
All the masks are still up over there. They're hanging up there. I got the Darth Vader, the 4 Michael Myers masks. It's all there. The Jason mask, everything is still there. I just like to shoot from this angle. But I'm thinking about getting another. I have 2 cameras. I might get a third one and plop it up over on this side to shoot from this angle as well, so you can still kind of see that setup in the background too. I'm thinking about doing that. But yeah, that was November 4th, 2018. So essentially 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, and 100 episodes later.
100
We'd probably
episodes
be
later.
well over that by now if our schedules didn't conflict.
If we
sometimes.
actually did it once a week and we didn't have to rearrange shows because of our schedules, we might be over 200 shows right now.
Easily.
You know,
easily. Yeah, you're right.
It'd be totally crazy. All right. Super chat from Matthew Foresi says, do you guys like the movie Fright Night? Watch it again for the first time in years.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I haven't seen it in a long time either, but I don't remember not liking it.
Long time. It's been a minute. Yeah, no, I don't remember not liking it either.
That's one of those movies that when I used to walk into the video store as a kid, that it stood out to me. Like
because it was such a cool cover.
So cool.
Yes.
The face and everything. Yes. It was like,
there were certain in your VHS rental place store. There were certain, that one always just was like, it just stood out like 100%, a sore thumb.
100%. I used to always walk over to it, pick it up, look at the back of the box, place it back down. Yeah, that one always got me. The face on it was so creepy, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm in the horror section now. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. I think we're caught up in super chats, if I'm not mistaken.
No, there's a few more.
Oh, you're right. Some more came in here. Sean Sheridan sends in a $2 says, ever see Deer Hunter with Robert De Niro?
No, I haven't seen that one with him in it.
I know the movie. I don't know if I've seen it though. I do know the movie. It's supposed to be a great film, but I don't know if I've seen it. I don't know if I've seen it. David Coe sends in a $4.99 super chat. Did I say this? I did get that, David. Yep. I think we're caught up now. I believe we are caught up with the super chat. Michael Meyer says, Dave and Tony, would you guys do a 2 Dudes as a Bullshit on Alien or Prometheus?
Yeah, sure. At some point.
Yeah, at some point we will.
Probably Alien first before Prometheus. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we definitely will.
Blood Red Skies. Why did I delete because I don't delete. Because I basically more or less deleted the channel. That's why I deleted the video. So that's why they're not up there anymore. The channel's gone. I may start to do some videos on my Instagram story. It's not going to be anywhere near to the level of what I did on YouTube, but I've toyed around with some stuff that I've thought about doing, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
You could you could upload some behind the scenes of your photo shoots.
Yeah, that's just hard because it's hard to find someone to film it properly because they're just. Yeah,
no, it's a good point.
It ends up dragging the shoot out longer. I've tried that a couple times and it just did not work.
Yeah, totally. Yep, yeah. I get it. Totally, 100%. Bishop Walters says, Dave and Tony, are you Soprano fans? I rewatched it for the first time in about 14 years, and it really is one of the greatest shows of all time. Rest in peace, James. What's his name again? James Gandolfini or
Gandolfini, something like that.
Gandolfini, I think.
Gandolfini, something like that. You know, I have never seen one episode of that show.
Did you know that? Yeah. Same. However, when The Soprano, in 2006, I was hired as I was the voice of a channel here in Canada called TLN as in Neil, TLN, and it stands for Tele Latino. And
sounds like Captain into Neil.
Yeah, I know. It's a Spanish and Italian station primarily, but they have an English side as well. And in 2006, I was hired to be the voice of the channel. And in 2006, which is only, I think, 2 years after The Sopranos went off the air, because I think it was 99 to 04, if I'm not mistaken. And I was hired to do all of the... TLN was the first channel in Canada that The Sopranos was going into syndication on. And which simply means that they're now playing all the seasons all the time, whatever. And I did all their ads. And so I've seen The Sopranos in 30-second promos.
There you go.
But I haven't seen the actual show. But yeah, I did all their ads for them, and that was cool. And
Did you ever watch it? Because I didn't.
No, I didn't.
There's a lot.
I
Of
honestly
shit that
didn't. I've never seen this. I hear it's a great show. I've never watched it. I just did the ads for it when it first came to. I mean, it was we could watch it from 99 to 04 as well, because obviously you could get HBO. But in terms of it going into syndication, yeah, it was cool. That's it. But no, I did all of their English programming. I wasn't the voice of the Spanish and Italian side of TLN. I can't speak Italian or Spanish if my life depended on me. But they had a strong English side.
No habla español?
No,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But the English side of the network played like Italian shows, but Everybody Loves Raymond, or things like that, The Sopranos and stuff. And so I would do all of the English content, and they had somebody else that would do the Spanish and Italian content.
Man, that's really cool.
I did that for about 3 years, and then they switched it up, as they often do in the world of networks, and they went in a different direction. I think they hired a female, and I didn't get my next voiceover gig till 3 years later, when I became the voice of T&E and Encore Avenue, which is a movie channel. It was a movie channel here, and I was that for a number of years. But anyway.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm letting people down. Like, you haven't seen The Sopranos?
No,
I
haven't seen
this. And truthfully, guys, there's not a lot of stuff that I watch, because I read. I'm a strong advocate for reading, and just I like reading books, and I don't, I just watch. Well, I'm just about done with Golden Girls. I've never even saw that. I mean, I caught an episode or two growing up as a kid at my grandparents' house, but I don't watch a lot of television. I'm just not a television guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And Bishop Walters is right. Sopranos ended in 2007. So there you go. I thought it was 04, but it is not. Sean Sheridan sends in a €2. Says, ever see Sleepers 1996 Frighteners with Michael J. Fox? I've seen Sleepers.
Love Frighteners.
I saw Frighteners a long time ago. I saw Sleepers. Here's what I remember. Not very much. Sleepers came out in the fall of 96. My buddy Evan and I had slept over at my buddy Brian's house, because we're in high school at this point, right? And we
96. Yeah,
it was a Friday night. It was October. It was a Friday night. We stayed up all night. We just stayed up all night, hanging out, watching movies, eating chips, talking about girls, what you do when you're a teenager, right? Yeah. And we stayed up all night. Brian got sleep. Evan and I didn't. Evan and I were up literally all night, and then we went and saw a movie the next night. We were probably up for 38 hours at this point.
When you could do that easily.
When you could do that as a teenager, because you had no responsibilities. And then we, because it was a Saturday the next day, and we went and saw Sleepers, which is kind of funny. And Evan and I watched about the first 5 minutes, and we were out. The two of us were sleeping. We slept through the whole
No pun on the movie title, right?
I know. That's the only thing. I have not rewatched that movie. I haven't rewatched it.
I can just picture Dave. This is Dave with his popcorn in his hand like this.
It's true. It's true. I slept through the whole fucking thing. I mean, maybe I watched 20 minutes of it. Maybe it wasn't 5 minutes, but I certainly know, because when you're there and you're like, oh, and you're trying to, but of course we were up for 40 hours at that point. I mean, Jesus, and Evan was out cold too. And I'll never forget that. So that's what I think of when I think of Sleepers, and that's 96. That would have been in the fall of 96. We were 17, and but Frighteners, I
saw that with my dad. I saw Frighteners.
I've seen it.
Theaters. That was a fun.
Not
movie.
in a long time.
Yeah, good
That was
old
Peter,
Michael.
I think
J.
Peter
Fox.
Jackson directed that, right?
He did direct that.
He directed that. All right. We'll go for a few more minutes here.
Sounds good. Yeah, why not? It's the 100th.
It's the 100th. It's the so you know what? Let's take this thing to 10. That's
what the hell? We're feeling good. We'll go to midnight.
You know what? Let's go all night. Let's go all night, and then Tony and I tomorrow night will do another show. We'll be up all night. We'll watch Sleepers. I mean, that's what we'll do.
Exactly.
That's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll take this thing to 10 o'clock, and then we will call it a night.
Juan Rivera, congrats D&T, 199 super chat.
Thank you very much.
Remember Monster Vision on TNT? I sort of remember that vaguely.
Yeah, we got
very
TNT.
vaguely.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, 100-hour live stream for 100. That we should have done that. 100-hour
live stream. Can you
live
imagine?
stream.
I don't even think, does YouTube allow 100 hours?
No, we probably could barely do. I think we'd have to do 24. Right? I think 24 is the cap.
Something like that. It's something like that. Yeah.
We could do a 24. Well, tell you what, guys, for the 1,000th episode, we'll do a 24-hour stream.
1,000th episode.
Yeah.
How many movies could we watch?
1,000.
That's crazy.
We'll be in our 80s by then, so we ain't got shit to do.
That's true. That's
So
true. I'll be wearing the diapers and the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. Movie Chat and Morris sends it a £2 super chat and says, at Tony, Sweet Chin Music or The Stunner?
Oh, The Stunner. Any day of the week and twice on Sunday. He's talking about Stone Cold's finishing move and Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that many times. Austin's my favorite wrestler, followed by Randy Savage, Macho Man Randy Savage, and then Taker. Those are my 3 top faves.
Fascinating. I don't watch it anymore.
I haven't watched wrestling since pretty much the Attitude Era. I pretty much checked out.
Somebody was trying to get me to talk about WWE, and I'm like, "You want me to talk about Hogan and Macho Man, or?" And they're like, "No. I want you to talk about, I don't know, somebody named Reigns or something or whatever." And I'm like, "Who?"
Oh, Roman Reigns.
Oh,
I've heard
Roman
that
Reigns?
name. Yeah.
I'm like, who?
I've heard that
I'm like,
name.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch it. He's like, how come you don't watch it? I'm like,
that's probably
because
like the last.
I don't watch it. I'm not into it
That's the
anymore.
most recent guy. Like, if you said that name, I would know he's from the last 10 years. I couldn't tell you a single person's name on the roster right now.
No idea.
Not like literally not one person.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, I understand.
Gary Rangel. I hope I said that
Wrangle,
right.
I think it is.
Wrangle.
Or maybe it's
sorry.
Rangel. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know.
That's my dyslexia kicking in hardcore right now.
Hardcore. It's kicking in hardcore.
I really do. I have seriously
I believe
dyslexia. And as I'm getting older, it's getting fucking worse.
Yeah.
Like really bad. Tony, do you like the Fast and Furious franchise and excited for the new one? I once the Paul Walker, the last one that he was in, I kind of checked out on it. Like 4 was really good, 5 was strong, 6 was solid. Obviously the circumstances, that they always nobody foresaw happening, and very tragic passing of Paul Walker. Once that happened, I pretty much was like, I'm good. This is what the fuck is fucking Dom going to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now? Because that's what it feels like it's turning into. I mean, it's so far away from what the original movie was, but I will say Fast and Furious did what Mission Impossible did, that when it came back after Tokyo Drift, which I was not a fan of, and it came back in 4, 4 was solid, and 5 was like, fuck, this is getting good. 6, I'm like, fuck, this is really good. It did what Mission Impossible has done with the last 3 Mission Impossible films, and it got better and better. And I think it could have continued to do that if Paul Walker had not passed away. I think the strength of that franchise would still be intact. But man, like I've seen video clips of like the Jason Statham one, which I'm a big Jason Statham fan. Like dude, I don't know. Like I just watched Homefront, which is on Netflix. Oh,
Homefront's great.
Yeah, like dude, I just like when I finished watching that, I was like, man, I need to go out and get into a fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just like anytime I watch a Jason Statham film, I'm like, I just need to go out and get into a fight.
Yes.
Like, hey, dude, we're gonna fight, but we're gonna be friends after.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
Like,
That's the way it is. It's the way it is.
I mean, are you a fan of the franchise, or are you
Fast and Furious? Yeah. I've only seen Fast 5 and like the first one.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of the others, so I'm not a fan.
It's just not your thing. Like,
and I'm sure they're very entertaining, but I don't know. I guess I just have to sit down and watch them, you know?
Yeah.
I just have to sit down and watch them, I guess. I just haven't done that.
Chat room is the one where when is 7 the last one that Paul Walker did? I can't remember if it was the 6th or the 7th.
I think it was 7, I think.
Okay.
I think. DMT Infinity says
that was the perfect, not to cut you off, but when Dom and Brian are there at the roadway,
yes,
and then Paul Walker goes off into the,
sure.
that's like perfect fucking ending. Like, there's nothing more you need to do.
Yeah, not for Hollywood though. The perfect ending for Hollywood is dog shit. DNT says, what is your number one favorite Star Wars movie? Which movie defines the series for you two? Also, who is your favorite character in the entire franchise? Well, for me, my favorite Star Wars movie is The Empire Strikes Back. That also
Dave's gonna hate me.
That also defines the series for me. No, I know which one is for you, and that's okay.
Mine's changed.
Okay. It defines the series for me as well. I think it is a terrific film full of symbolism and layers, and it's awesome. And my favorite character in the entire series is Han Solo. But I also love me some Darth Vader.
Mine was Return of the Jedi.
I thought yours was Revenge of the Sith.
That's what I was going to say. It's Revenge of the Sith.
Oh,
growing up,
I already knew that.
It was Return of the Jedi growing up, but I find myself watching Revenge of the Sith more, even as an adult. Even though I've checked out on the franchise, I can pop on Revenge of the Sith and be entertained. I don't hate it. I know there's a lot of hate for prequels, whatever. I not really don't care about episode 1, and episode 2 is what it is, but Revenge really hit it for me. Like, I was like, damn, this was good. I enjoyed it.
Wreck God missed the word dumpster before fire there. I just want to know. I didn't know.
I see what you did there. See, I told you Dave was not going to.
I'm just kidding.
My favorite
kidding.
Favorite character would definitely be Anakin Vader. It's the same character, but growing up, I was a huge fan of Return of the Jedi. But I can safely say, my favorite Star Wars film, because of how often I will watch that one film in particular, would be Revenge of the Sith. You know what's funny? I am not an Empire Strikes Back fan. Like, that movie for me, it just kind of draws out. You know what I mean? Like, it just it's tough for me to watch. Like, my ADD kicks in, and I'm starting to do 50 different things while the movie is on. Whereas Revenge of the Sith keeps my attention.
There you go. What I mean? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
But look, I mean, the first time Luke and Vader see each other in the fucking room there, not the throne room, but the on Hoth. What's the room called?
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
Isn't there a name for the room that? Isn't there a name for that room?
I forget. It's on Bespin, but the name of the room is the.
I thought it was
chamber. No. They're on Bespin. It's in Cloud City.
Oh, right. Yes, you're right. Sorry, you're right.
I love that fucking scene. The way he looks so. He's standing there.
Yo, it's
the
great.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
Yes,
but you were
great.
And the way he says "yet," he's like, "But you were not a Jedi yet." And it's like, oh, I love it.
Yeah,
it's great. It's powerful. Yeah. It's powerful.
Good shit.
No, Hex, I'll be honest with you. Out of the prequel films, Revenge of the Sith is actually, for me, I like Revenge of the Sith the best out of the prequel films. I'm not a big Revenge of the Sith fan, but
that
certainly,
seems to be pretty universal with Star Wars fans.
I think so.
When you talk about the prequels,
you probably could have done the prequels just by doing the last 20 minutes of the movie.
You could have just done Revenge of the Sith, and that's it. And you would have been fine.
Essentially, that's right. Troy Grubb sends in a $4.99 super chat, says, the ending to Furious 7 did a great job of paying tribute to Paul Walker. I am with Tony. They should have ended it on Furious 7. Well, yes, if they cared about story and substance, but you got to run shit into the ground, man.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, Robert Thidoff, I know you've been asking this all night. Why would Karate Kid 3 have been What would Karate Kid 3 have been better if it was not for revealed until the end that Terry Silver was on the scam with Kreese? No, I think there's a lot of things that make Karate Kid 3. When you're coming off of Karate Kid 2 and Daniel's fighting a death match with Chosen, and you go full 180 with the character, and he turns into this wimpy little bitch who's being intimidated by a far less opponent than Chosen. Chosen to me was Daniel's greatest opponent when you're talking about a fight match. Chosen was way more advanced in martial arts and his strength as a martial artist as well too. The fact that they made Daniel a bitch throughout the whole film is really what made Karate Kid 3 the weaker of the franchise. Really, Karate Kid 3 should have been 2 and 2 should have been 3 if you're going to do that. Or you should have done a completely different story arc with Daniel's character in 3, where maybe midway through, Daniel has a turn where he's not afraid of Barnes anymore, and Barnes realizes that, oh shit, this is not going to be as easy as I thought, because Barnes was so used to running through tournaments and winning all the time that, and really build up that final fight between Barnes and Daniel. And it should have been a back and forth fight between the two of them at the end. And even Barnes so much getting into Daniel's head where Daniel does a cheap shot and loses a point, and Miyagi has to look at Daniel and say, hey, this is not your karate. This is not what you do. Mm-hmm. And you go into the kata where Daniel needs to focus himself and all that shit. It's, and plays out with the final punch. But basically, Daniel gets a lucky punch in on Barnes is the only reason why he fucking wins. And that's it. It's 90 minutes of him getting his ass kicked. And it's just not a good film. So, yeah.
I haven't seen 3 in years, so I refer to Tony, the Karate Kid expert here on the panel, to give his insight. Lady Claire says, I'm sure they were already thinking of an entertainment wizard. Oh, talking amongst each other. I love that. I love when people do that. That's the way to go. Let me see here. We got just one more minute. What last minute to play in the third period? Let me see. What do we got going on here? This has been a good show tonight, though. The 100th episode was a good show. I think this was a good show tonight, for sure.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure. This was a good show. Jeff Harris says, Danny DeVito playing a slasher character, anyone? Hey, I'm down. Let's do it. Danny DeVito.
How about Danny DeVito playing a just fucked up deranged Oompa Loompa?
Yes. 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 I think we should definitely do that. I think we should definitely do it.
It's the trilogy, or no, wait, how many Willy Wonka films are there?
Like 3 or something, or 2?
Something like that.
I don't know, something like that. Anyways, folks, that is going to do it.
Did it!
For
100!
episode 100 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Thanks to our great moderators, Frank Riker, Darren Sands, Tabitha Short, and Chris Baber, for doing what you guys do and keeping the chat room flowing in the direction it should be flowing. Hey, that's a good one. I just made that up right now. I like that. Tony and I, of course, will be back next Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 101.
We're going to begin doing romantic comedies.
That's right. We're now going to be doing romantic, sappy comedies. No. That's not what we're doing. But maybe we'll do it eventually. I don't know. This was
we're like 90.
Yeah, exactly. This was a great show. Thank you to all the very generous super chats that came in tonight. To the non-super chat questions, of course. Folks, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you. You guys are, I know it sounds like a cliche thing to say.
That's why we come back every
week. But it's why we come back. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you being here each and every week watching us, whether it's a movie you're interested in or not. Sometimes I'm sure you just tune in to hear us gab and yap, and we really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your support and your continued support here on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. Tony, any last things you want to say before we skedaddle?
No, same thing. I mean, thanks for the support. You guys joining us every week. When we do these shows, I know we see more familiar faces when we do Halloween stuff. But even when, it's the smaller crowd that hangs up, the loyals that come in, when, we're doing other stuff that's not horror related, and those of you who have come off of Dave's channel to support me on Instagram, always appreciate that as well too. And just gonna keep cranking out the content for you guys and having fun.
Yep. Movie Chat and More gets one in.
200.
Movie Chat and More gets one in under the paint and says, how can they make ends during this apocalypse? Well, they can't. They can't make Halloween ends during this apocalypse. So hopefully things will get back to normal eventually, so they can also make that as well. Folks,
well, they are. It's just going to be Michael and Lori sitting across playing chess.
That's what they're going to do. I've heard that's what they're going to do. And Michael gets angry and flips the chessboard.
Retired.
Yeah,
they're retired.
Yes, he flips the chessboard. He gets angry and he punches Lori in the face. All right.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Folks, have a great rest of your night. Have a great We'll talk to you soon. All righty. Cheers.